Oh my, so here we have some excellent 300 IQ comments from the Peanut Gallery.
It's the saddest.
How serious is this? Is this something that we need to be terrified of?
You are a vile slime of a human that will know.
They're just sitting here masturbating as hard as they possibly can, as quietly as they can.
Welcome to Live from the Other Side podcast, guys. I'm your host, Chris. This is 5 years in the making, actually in the waiting, probably not so much the making. Tom, what's up, man? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. This is just like you said, about 5 years almost. Slowly coming up with this. We're live from the other side, obviously. I'm Tom. That was Chris. I'm coming from New York, and Chris, you're from where again exactly?
I'm out of Arizona, a very small town in Arizona. I'm just not even going to mention it because it sucks. Man, this is crazy. What's going on, man? I figured, for our first episode, it's a great test to see how things are going. I've already got people messaging me saying there's a lot of buffering issues. I don't think there's any buffering issues on our side, on my side at least. How about you?
Yeah, I'm having nothing on my side at least, so.
Yeah.
If anything, if anybody's watching and it is buffering, just try to refresh it, and it should pick right back up usually.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
usually
exit and refresh.
Yeah.
As
Like
usual.
the old fucking unplug, plug back in bullshit. Is it turned on?
Is it actually working, you old ladies? You boomers? Oh wait, we can't say boomer. The boomer doomer's out there right now, and apparently people love to talk about that shit. That's for another podcast, I think.
Yeah, that's maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know. Yeah, this is weird. This is cool. It took us a long time. Hopefully the audio is sounding decent.
Yeah.
For a first go, I'm not too worried about it necessarily, but what are we talking about today, bro? I mean, we've got some weird things.
We've got a
going
couple things that happened throughout the last 2 weeks or week and a half, just about.
Yeah. I would say in the last, probably about the last week or so, we've got some strange things going on. There's some people with Twitch. Obviously, the name of the podcast is Clout Chasers. Donate, sub pandering, and a little bit of some more H3H3 Ethan Klein drama. So it's
and I know I'm not really up to date with the Ethan Klein stuff. I don't really not that I don't care. It's one of those it's whatever, but I do like a good juicy story, so why not?
Well, the last problem we had with Ethan Klein wasn't his problem. It wasn't a terrible video. He was watching So Young eat a bunch of squid.
Yeah, a bunch of live squid that made me want to throw up.
Yeah, pouring some soy sauce on their burning tentacles. But what do we have? What we've got going on today? I've only watched his side, and you've watched part of
the other side, the Ordinary Gamer side.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, the Ordinary Gamer side, and then since then there's been some issues where the Ordinary Gamer has since apologized, taking down his video, which we found the video, and
yes, that sucked actually, trying to find that, the fact that he took it down, because that actually, I'll talk about that later on. That actually kind of pisses me off that he did that. So,
well, and you're pissed that he apologized, basically, right?
Yeah, I'm pissed at both sides. Like the fact that he took the video down and then he apologized for it, because I'll get into that later on, obviously, when we get to that stuff. So I think we're starting out with some clout chasing. And some sub donation pandering right now.
Yeah, I would say more than anything, it's sub donation pandering. I don't know if this would even be considered clout chasing, because this person, InvaderVie, that we're going to talk about, lost almost 100,000 followers, not subscribers. Yeah, not subscribers, followers, because of this.
I mean, that still sucks, though, because, that's still half of your general audience, and especially with the clip, obviously, we're going to be talking about. I could see why she lost that many.
It's terrible.
I wouldn't be surprised if she loses more because of it.
I would feel bad if we lost one follower right now, let alone almost 100,000. What do you say? Should we let's roll the first video? Let's
watch the first clip, try to get a feel for what's really going on with this, because there's a lot that we can talk about in this situation.
All right.
obviously I have very strong feelings about what's going on. I know you do too. So
Yeah,
be good
yes.
to see what we're both, because we've been trying to keep it quiet with each other with what we're talking about. So
Yeah,
so
we're
we can
not
talk
we're
about
not
it
trying to overexpose. That's a big
Yeah.
problem. So let's go to the YouTube theater here. I think we have it pulled up. I think it's ready to go. So this is a Twitch video, and it's titled "Cheapskates," originally by whoever clipped this. Let's just take a look.
Oh my. So here we have some excellent 300 IQ comments from the Peanut Gallery.
Hold on. I need
This
a pause.
conversation sucks.
This is bad. I shouldn't pause right so soon. Let's hold on. For Twitch, we just want to say we're not defaming this person. We don't hate her. No, this isn't necessarily a shit talking fest. This is because we don't want to get in trouble for one, because that's not how we view it. But we do think that the actions, like these types of actions, are deplorable.
Yeah,
at least I do.
Yeah, it happens to be that this person was just in the limelight as this was happening. And funny enough, we've talked about this plenty of times before with what she's doing and why it shouldn't be allowed and why it's wrong.
Yeah.
So it's more or less we're talking about her methods of what she's doing.
Well, for one, it's
Not her
not
as a
allowed
person.
by Twitch TOS, actually.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
No.
see, I don't know any of this stuff.
No, begging for donations and subscriptions is not allowed. Or I guess maybe that's not what she was doing necessarily. We should let them watch it, but then let's have everybody watch this. Then we'll go into that. I think maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Like most people have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
Is smoking cigarettes on stream considered against TOS?
No, I don't think it is. I think you're allowed to drink alcohol on stream also, or water with ice.
Water with ice. Okay, so this is tea leaves wrapped up that I smoked.
Yeah, he's smoking tea leaves. Let's hope that smoking tea leaves is allowed on Twitch. But let's get into it. So, InvaderVie, we kind of gave them a bit of a rundown. She's basically donation and sub pandering, but to an extreme. So let's continue here.
This is weird. Yikes. These are exquisite contributions to a very good conversation. And these people in chat who are making these comments do not appear as immature, childish cheapskates whatsoever. They're just sitting here masturbating as hard as they possibly can, as quietly as they can, because their parents are in the next room talking about how disappointed they are in them. And
I mean, as long as you're not
pay for
streaming
this
it, I guess.
Sluts giving it away for free. You're right, buddy.
Hold
You're
on.
right.
Wait, let's
Away for free.
play this back.
I would never pay for this when this slut's giving it away for free. I would never pay for this when this slut's giving it away for free.
So what she's implying is that she's giving away her videos for free, and that, based on what I can tell, is these, in her mind, people are not donating to her because this quote-unquote, not my words, hers, slut is giving away these videos for free. But why would you look at yourself like that?
That's one thing is to degrade yourself to that point that you feel as if there's just at least a majority of your viewers are just sitting there cranking one out while they're watching you.
Yeah.
If they perfect. That's a whole separate issue on its own. You shouldn't be doing that. Watch the streamer because you like their personality. That's the way I see it. But also, there's thousands of other websites.
I've never cranked one out while watching a stream. Never. Not once.
No.
Never.
Neither have I.
No.
I mean, I've cranked one out to other types of streams.
Oh, hey, hold on. That might be TOS. Be careful. Oh, other types of... Yeah.
Yeah,
don't promote
those are on other websites that you can easily access and put headphones in and do the exact same thing.
It is not Twitch. It is not Twitch. Just to be clear. But okay, so that was just so let's kind of cut back on that. We've got
Pointed they are in them, and they're like, why would I ever pay for this when this slut's giving it away for free?
I mean, it's just a little creepy to me. It's a little creepy.
It's more or less for me. It's why do you think that's what your audience is doing?
Because I don't know if I want to speculate.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's so. That might be an entire. there's this huge movement, and I'm not calling her this. There's this massive movement online right now against quote unquote like streaming thoughts or whatever, YouTube thoughts. And part of that movement is that these people believe that these streamers or YouTubers know that's what they're doing. You know, they just like, that's the whole point. You know, like I said, we're gonna tiptoe a little bit around this. Are they wrong? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I don't know.
I mean,
what do you think, man? I don't know. Are they wrong?
Oh, okay. I don't mind, like, we live in fucking America, so when it really comes down to it, like, sex sells. Everyone knows that. I don't mind if you want to flaunt your body off to try to make some money, go for it. But once you start like begging for it and like almost degrading people to the point to like give you money and subscribe to you and all that stuff, that's when I have an issue with it. Like, if you're gonna do this for a living, do it because you want to, not because you feel that the people who are watching you do it should be inclined to do it, in a sense.
And don't
Like,
shame yourself. Do
yeah, and like
do
that's the other
not
thing,
shame yourself. Like, that was
now, for all we know, she could just be like trolling on this. Like, when it really comes down to it, we don't know. But
it's
like,
that's a fair observation.
Yeah,
I agree
if she
with that
is, then
observation.
good on her. Fucking great troll. But obviously we have more video clips of other stuff that came out. But obviously you chose the wrong route to go about it. So obviously, for me, it's just like, I don't find this okay at all in any sense.
No, me neither. Currently, not at this point. I mean, and people haven't even really seen what we're talking about. That was kind of already an early shame on your subscribers, and it's not her. I mean, it's just, this seems to be a new pattern. Before we get too deep into this, though, I do want to play something by the gentleman. It's a Gundam. I loved this. I'm sure. Let's take a look at this. All right.
I'm glad InvaderVie is sitting here telling all of you cheap scrubs about yourselves. Who shows up to a stream without having any money? Oh God, look at those little legs. Oh, I laughed so hard I hurt my kidneys.
So that, yeah, it's a Gundam. Thank you for that, bro. We're 100% credit to you. Obviously, that's pretty damn funny. And that's kind of, I think what he's doing there is he kind of hits it on the head. He's, there's a reason why they're, and I'm not talking about her, these people creating these streams where they're pissed that they're not making enough money, and they think they're just showing, showing enough, that you should be, as she said, whacking it. It's a terrible mindset.
Yeah, no, and actually, I know this came up.
Absolutely terrible.
I think it was a couple months ago. It came up like where another streamer was doing the same thing. Like, she was pretty much like berating her audience that they had 5 or 6 hours a day to watch her stream, but then she would only, at the end of the day, like only get like 5 or 6 people to sub. Like, go get a job then. Like, that's what you have to do.
Go get a fucking job.
Like, if your main thing is to do this, you want to do this for a living, and you have to depend on it, put in the effort. Make better content, maybe.
5 to 6 subs a day, though, bro. Think about that. 5 to 6 subs a day. If
that
maybe
does
it takes
add
you,
up, but
yeah, it adds up. Like, if it takes you fucking a year, and you get 5 to 6 subs a day, do the math on that. You're gonna be making 6 figures within that year. I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is. I really don't. I mean, what?
No, well, I mean, we live in a
I'll take a follower
society now that literally just wants to make money quick, but they don't want to put any effort into making that money quick. So that's the problem when it really comes down to it, is that if you don't want to make the effort to do anything, you're not going to get the money for it. But then telling people to give you money is going to want to make more than half of your fucking people that are watching you not want to fucking subscribe or do anything, or even let alone watch you anymore. So it's like, it's one of those shitty situations. Like, whether or not like she's trolling or not, like, even just to state that is stupid.
Well, I think we should go through some more of this. We should hit the next. We're not going to go forever on this. We have a couple more little segments, and then we can determine whether she's trolling. Because I know you have this. I don't necessarily have that mindset. I kind of thought about that once or twice, because it does seem very trolly. Like if I were to do it, I'd be like, "Hey Tom, I just switched over to you, man. You're a good-looking man." And then I'd be like, "But why aren't you sub to me? Am I not hot enough for you?"
No.
No, because I think I'm hot enough for you. And do you have $5? Oh, it's kind of like Blizzard. Do you not have an Android phone in your pocket?
Do you not have a cell phone?
Tell me this. Do you not have a cell phone? Do you not think that was before we don't want to go too off topic. Do you not think that was kind of a troll? Was that not a troll? Was that complete?
No, that guy was serious.
They all said it at the same time.
Yeah, but that guy died on stage when he watched the audience just go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, yeah. No. Like, no.
To make a point, let me just pull it up. Let's just pull it up just real quick. I think we'll be okay. Do you not have cell phones? That was it, right?
Yeah.
Do you not have phones? Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go.
And even the dude in the red shirt.
YouTube
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this just strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan
They all say it at the same time,
on
though.
Mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Okay, but do you get my point?
Yeah, they weren't trolling. They were more or less like they actually think that. Yeah, look, and even the quote, they don't understand why a room full of PC gamers are upset about an announced mobile game.
I think what's insane, though, is the fact that these guys are some of the biggest PC gamers on the planet.
Yeah.
And the fact that one guy said that and all of them instantly were like, "Yeah, do you not have cell phones?" Like, what? Like, but I feel like I feel the same way about this, where I'm like, it seems like a troll because it was so, like, rehearsed.
Out of nowhere.
But clearly it wasn't. So, okay, let's see. Let's watch the next one and see if she's trolling. Let's take a look here.
It doesn't really matter how much money you make or how much money you have. That's really the thing. Because I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution. If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is you can get a full meal for $20. And the difference of $20 and eating a meal is in that $20. Like, that's where it is. But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And
what? Hold on. What fucking currency? Is it Canadian dollars? Like, what currency is that? What? How do you go from $5 to $10?
But the whole statement is like she's not asking for half of your wallet. Like, that's basically what she's saying. Like, I'm not asking for half of your income, but she's asking for some of my income. That's what pisses me off. Like,
yeah, it's not $20 because that's a full meal. I don't know where you live, where a full meal for a single person is $20. Because I think package of ramen is still 45 cents. At least where I come from. How much is ramen?
I think it's about 50 cents a package. I'm pretty sure like food across the board stays about the same.
Yeah, unless you go to a restaurant. Maybe she's used to going to a restaurant on. I mean, $20 at a restaurant here will get you a nice steak meal in Arizona. I know it might be different in New York. I could be totally wrong, but all right, let's not go too. Let's keep going here.
It doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money.
Hang on, wait, pause it really quick.
Like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub.
Okay.
That doesn't.
Yep. This was clipped on April 18th, right?
Yes. April 18th,
So
2020.
what she's essentially saying, at least the way I took it, is if you have enough time to watch her stream, I have $10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. During the middle of a global pandemic, where if you're not considered an essential worker, you can't work.
Yep.
Where saving money is key to basic survival at this point. So I should give her my money.
Yes.
That's
yes.
like that's the
because
stuff that
she
just, like,
needs a
gets me
$20
heated.
meal. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
I want a Rolls Royce. So people watching, give me a Rolls Royce.
You want a Rolls Royce? I want a Rolls Royce, dude. I would just like my
two
computer...
Rolls Royces.
Yeah, I'd like my computer just to run well. How does that sound? Like, does that seem realistic? You know, I like, once again, full disclaimer. It's about the concept. It's not about this person. You know, this is a normal thing. This is becoming a normal thing. Like, these people are getting crazy.
And I think that's
about
the problem, because like I remember back like 5 or 6 years ago, it used to be like the GoFundMe pages you'd always see and shit like that. You'd see a bunch of GoFundMe pages that were always like, help me build my computer. And it was just like some kid who just wanted to play Minecraft. And he was asking for like $2,000 to build a PC. It's like, no one's going to give you money.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And those are the same kinds of things. Like, this is the same kind of concept. It happens to be, it's just this girl was the most recent one that did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's like, it's a goddamn shame. Like, don't do that to people.
I think
nice.
iDubbbz did a video about that once. About it was basically
Kickstarter crap.
Yeah,
and stuff
Kickstarter
like that.
crap, where all these people, when streaming became like started to become a big thing, all these people just flooded Kickstarter with, I'm trying to become a big streamer, I don't have a good setup, yada yada yada, and he just destroyed them. And this is kind of what it is to me. It's like, this person has, if you are already making money on Twitch, you shouldn't be begging for subs and donations.
Yeah.
You know, and this is going to come back on us someday. Because
see, maybe it's one of those things that, like, the way I see it too is like, you know, if you're already making money on Twitch and you're doing this full time or whatever, and you need to get more money, instead of like I know there's plenty of other things, like especially like if you create, like YouTube does it all the time, where you have a Patreon. So if you like that one person, you can support that person. That I'm perfectly okay with. Yeah, they might push it sometimes, but whatever. They also, most of the guys I watch on YouTube, they say it right off the bat. Like, if you feel like supporting me, you don't have to, but you can.
Yeah, well, and there's benefits to becoming a Patreon supporter. Like, there's certain tiers, and you get things from it. This is, so like, for a lot of people that don't understand how Twitch works, which you should, obviously, if you're on Twitch, I guess.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know anything about Twitch. Like, this is all still like brand new to me. So, because like for me, it was just like I would just watch it every once in a while.
Yeah, there's followers, which are, you know, they don't grant you anything, obviously. And I mean, in terms of money, you know, they don't grant you anything in terms of money. They grant you a following, like, you know, which is fantastic. Yeah. I would love to see more people in our chat talking and things like that. But then subscribers, at some point, they have to pay, you know, I think it's $5 or something. And then you get half of that, or somewhere around there, from what I understand. So if you had, you know, 200,000 subscribers, you're making, you know, 100,000 times $2.50 a year.
Well, not even that. They said subscriber. Yeah. She said it's $5, right?
Well, yes, but that's true. But what they take a percent, so Twitch gets a little bit, you know, or they get like 50%. Yeah.
Okay, so like at $2.50, let's just say.
At $2.50 is great though. If you have 500 subscribers at $2.50, you know, a fucking month,
you're making
money.
Yeah, you're making $12.50 a month.
You know, and
that's not bad at all.
No, that's not bad
at
all.
That's my rent.
And that's just through Twitch. And you know, the megastars of Twitch they're brand deals, subscriptions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually kind of what I was getting into the point of, is like, you know, if you need to if you're getting to the point where you need to beg for subscribers to sub to you, to give you money, or even then donate, why not take some time to look into your content a little bit and try to make it a little bit better? Start branching out more.
Or in my opinion,
why not?
Just do, you don't have to do that. If your content's good, irregardless, you said it yourself, this person decided to do this during the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think that's the main reason why I'm getting
the worst time. Bottom line, the worst time is during the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to speculate. I don't know why people wouldn't be subscribing to her, but clearly it's not paying the bills. But this is not how you go about it. I think me and you have very clearly, over time, we're not like this. You know, I don't want to pander the other direction and be like, we'll never, you know, we're above this. But I think we are, because this would never be if at any point this was one of our broadcasts, I would like to just quit the fucking stream.
Oh yeah, no, I would.
You know
I would want someone to just basically show me this video of us talking about it and say, like, you said you'd never do it, so what the fuck you doing? And I would just stop right there and then. I'd actually probably rethink my life. But I think that was just how I was raised. Like, don't take advantage of other people, and like that. That's like the main thing to me. Like, it's
don't shit talk them. I mean, we're not even through this video, and it's enough to incite a little animosity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I was not picking my nose there. That's a nose rub. That's an allergy nose rub. We got on a tangent. Let's finish this one off. We got a couple more. Let's see what we got here. All right. It's fun though. It's a good time.
Really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy. That's what that is.
On a free website.
Hold on.
So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, even though I'm a free website. But that doesn't really track. So, in all of my wisdom, I determine you just need to get better with money.
Oh yeah, because me as the viewer, I am irresponsible with my money.
Yeah, clearly. I mean,
if I
look at you. Hold on, look at you. I'm zoomed up on you with your beanie on your head. You irresponsible son of a bitch.
I'm a natural hobo.
You are a hobo. You're irresponsible with your money. $5. Whether you want to get the 4 for $5 combo at Wendy's, or if you want to,
or I could save that $5 for 4 days and get a $20 meal, like she stated.
No, stop. You can't do that, because that's at least a steak and a lobster at Red Lobster. So cut your bullshit. All right.
But they give you free biscuits, so I'm technically being, I'm being responsible with my money.
Are the biscuits free?
I don't
see, then that's a responsible business.
I haven't been to Red Lobster in since I was maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's disgusting. All right, okay, so then there's at least 2 more here. And then something kind of in between. Let's move over to the next, shall we? Let's see. It just kind of ramps up from here. I don't even think we made it to the main purpose of this video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unemployed, so basically all my money goes to bills and food, or I would support you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, no, this is
$5. It's really no one's gonna convince me that what I'm saying is so rude or so unacceptable or so outrageous. It just simply isn't. It's $5. It doesn't cost you that much to sub.
So this is something I want us to remember coming up on her apology video, because I did watch part of the apology video. Just watch that again.
Or so unacceptable or so outrageous. It just simply isn't. It's $5. It doesn't cost you that much to sub. And it's very, very wonderful because it allows streamers to continue supporting their communities with content. That's all.
So I missed it. It was the part where she says she will not go back
Like
on
her word.
Oh, here we go.
Really, like you're not gonna, no one's gonna convince me that.
You're not. Nobody's gonna convince
so
me.
Unacceptable or so outrageous. It just simply isn't. It's $5. It doesn't cost you that much to sub.
So nobody's ever gonna convince her otherwise. Or as she stumbled around, nobody's going to convince me otherwise that I'm going to go back on this because it's just $5. You know, it's just so simple. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's only $5. That's all it costs to support her, not yourself. Even though all your money goes to bills and other stuff.
You know, you're never going to convince her otherwise. Remember that. Let's continue forward here. Let's go to this guy right here. And this is the quartering. Tom, I know you feel a certain way about him.
Yeah, well,
he's looking a little rough these days.
Yeah, his look kind of. Yeah,
I do like him.
He's a cool guy. I've watched his stuff. He's a nice dude.
He is looking a little rough though.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if reach out to us.
It's because of the quarantine. That's what it is.
I think it could be.
That's what I'm going with.
But he's probably been self-quarantining for many years, like most of us. So
now, Twitch streamer InvaderVie also reveals how she creeps on fans' IRL profiles. Couldn't possibly be looking for a little pay piggy, could you? Noted Twitch star, I never heard of her before today, admitted to scouring the online profiles of her regular contributors, leading to some interesting results concerning the demographic of her viewer base. It's no secret that many online personalities cater to specific audiences. That's a weird thing to me, by the way. I've never thought, hey, I only want this group of people to watch my videos. I want everybody to watch my videos. What kind of idiot would want to exclude people? But anyway, YouTube booty gurus.
That's perfect. He hits that on the head on multiple levels, in my opinion, because what she's doing, what she's done, and the people that are, acting the way she is, are excluding huge quantities of demographic. If you can't afford me, don't watch me. I'm not making my content for you. I thought that was pretty smart. This guy does do some smart shit. He says some smart stuff.
And he even said it at the beginning, because he said he didn't know who this was until he pretty much read this article. And I was kind of in the same boat. I just happened to see a tweet that happened to have her talking in that first clip that we showed. So to me, it was I have no clue who the hell this is. And there's a reason why I don't know who this is, because obviously her demographic that she's going to isn't for me. So she's excluding me from that content.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
And I agree with it. I agree with the courting on this. You shouldn't, if you're making content, it should be for everybody. Don't exclude people.
Unless you do exclude people because your content just isn't what that person's taste is, which I think is totally
that's the thing, though.
fine.
That's up to the person who's deciding it.
Yeah, completely. You leave it up to the person deciding exactly. Yeah. But this gets a little wacky because what he's saying, she's not doxing anybody. I'm not going to go that far. But what we're about to see is a little bit disturbing. It's a little bit disturbing. So let's check this out.
Beauty gurus to professional gamers and even cosplayers. But while these categories might appear to have obvious viewer type, InvaderVie's audience boasts a surprising majority. InvaderVie is a popular face on Twitch known for just chatting streams, so literally nothing, and humorous interactions with fans in her chat. So she literally just sits on her butt all day. I mean, I guess I do too. However, many of the fans aren't who you'd expect, she admitted in a broadcast. According to the streamer, much of her audience is made up of adult men in relationships, many of whom work in technology fields. Quote, I only really keep track of people who support me, she revealed. The people who support me are usually men in relationships or actively dating between the age of 25 and 42. I don't actually believe that. I don't believe that. The age demographic, probably true. And that isn't to say that guys with girlfriends wouldn't dono on Twitch, but I wonder what their girls would say about it. Usually they work in tech. A lot of engineers are in here right now. It's really crazy.
A lot of engineers.
To find this information, she admitted to scouring the LinkedIn profiles and social media accounts of those who donate to her stream on PayPal, claiming that she Googles their names to find out more about exactly who's supporting her content. Quote, "When you guys donate to me, it tells me your name that's attached to your PayPal," she explained.
What?
"If your name is attached to your PayPal and you donate to me, I look you up on Google. I Google each and every one of your names, and I creep on your LinkedIns."
Listen up, you little spazoids! I know where you live, and I've seen.
Wow.
Okay,
No.
that's a little.
Horrifying?
Yeah, that's fucking. That's just creepy. That's
fucking horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not cool. Don't do that.
I hope this isn't real. I mean, I feel like I saw a video of her talking about that. I don't know. I thought that was. I think maybe if we watched more of that, it might. Should we see? Should we just take another couple seconds, or?
I mean, if you want, go for it.
I don't want to go too deep
like,
on this. Let's
Where
take a
you
look.
sleep. I swear to
I
everything
feel like
holy
there
that your
is
mothers will
a
cry
little
when
bit
they
of
get
by the way,
back
this is
down
a
to you.
great scene.
I wonder why that is.
Oh, here it is.
And if you don't believe me,
Yep.
here's the audio clip.
I keep track of the people who support me. And the people who support me are usually men in relationships or actively dating between the ages of, I think, 25 to maybe 42. Mm-hmm.
Cringe.
I usually work in tech. A lot of engineers are in here right now. It's really crazy. The other day when we were talking about like what we all do for a living.
What
oh
the
no!
fuck?
So when you guys
Here we go.
donate to me,
Here we go.
it tells me your name that is attached to your PayPal, and if
Wait.
your name is attached to your PayPal and you donate to me, I look you up on Google. I Google each and every one of your names, and I creep your LinkedIn's.
Creepy.
A lot of engineers.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's one of those like.
I'm so
Like,
glad
I understand.
I don't fuck with that kind of dumb shit.
Yeah, like I understand being curious about like who donates to you. But
No, I don't. Maybe,
once-
dude, explain your thoughts on that, because I don't.
My thoughts. Okay, like I understand. Like, okay, this person donated to me. At least I know their name. So if they donate again, I can be a little more personable in my next time.
Oh, yeah,
like talk to them.
yes, yeah,
like
fuck
that.
yeah, I
yes.
agree with that 100%.
But
If you want
once
them to
it
know the
went
name.
yeah, once it went to, I'm fucking stalking you on LinkedIn and seeing that you're in a relationship, you're happily married, you're 42 years old, watching my shit. That's a little weird. That's when it gets creepy.
Well, and it sounds a little egotistical, sort of like there's
Yeah,
a lot of
like-
engineers in here. You would be surprised. Who the fuck cares? like, like, okay, so you have, like, what? I guess I would try to thought process that comment. Who gives a fuck? What if it was a
Yeah.
lot of corn husking farm boys? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? So, and a lot of them are in relationships. Oh man.
Yeah, no, it's just that's disgusting.
Hey guys, kids.
In a sense, it is like a way of like invading someone's privacy.
It absolutely is. It's absolutely an invasion of privacy. And well, I don't know. I mean, it's a little reaching. I think it's a little bit reaching, but it's like what I would say is if you're a thought patrolling engineer within the age of 35 to 45, make sure you don't subscribe to her channel.
It was 25 to 45.
Holy shit.
Oh man, I'm going into engineering. Fuck.
Oh no, yeah, don't go to don't do that. All right, so the end here I think we have is her apology. Then we're gonna move on, maybe take a little bit of a break. But you ready for the apology?
Yeah, I haven't heard this, so I just heard that she made one. So,
all right, let's take a look.
Still that smile.
Is it a smile, Tom? Is that what that is?
It is, but it's just like it. Just play the video.
All right.
God damn, I just want
I'm
to.
here right now because you've seen a clip of me, and you're very angry about what I said in that clip, and you're justified in your anger.
Thank you.
What I said was tone deaf, insensitive, and stupid. And I recognize that. I recognize that there is no context that I can give that would excuse what I said, so I won't. I can only own what I said, and I will. The clip that you saw does not represent my true feelings. I've streamed for hundreds of hours, and I've said, support communities after you support yourself first.
Oh, that's
Subscribe
different.
if you have the disposable income to do so. But in that clip, I expressed opinions that I do not hold at all.
Hold on.
I said
Hold
things
on.
that I don't-
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Express opinions.
Where is it? Where is it?
I'm saying is so rude or so unacceptable.
There we
What
go.
I'm saying is no one's gonna convince me that what I'm
Hold
saying.
on, there it is.
No one's gonna convince me that what I'm saying is so rude or so unacceptable or so outrageous. It just simply isn't. It's $5. It doesn't cost you that much.
No one's gonna change your mind, boys. That's
After you support yourself first. Subscribe if you have the disposable
Well, now-
income to do so. But in that clip, I expressed opinions that I do not hold at all. I said things that I don't mean, and they were vile. I recognize that. What I said was wrong in any context.
what I said was wrong in any context, I think is the last thing she was gonna say. There's some more, but I think that was enough. I don't necessarily think we need to go much deeper into this.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, on like a final thoughts kind of thing with that, this is
Yeah.
why like I don't like apology videos. Because one, obviously we have the 5 other videos from before that, just like the clip you just showed, where she obviously no one's going to convince her otherwise that she said anything wrong. But clearly, and I think from what you told me was the story is that she lost a bunch of followers and shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she lost upwards of 80,000 followers from that.
Yeah.
But
So she
after
lost
a
potential
long
income.
time, though, she spent many, I mean, I think this has been how she feels throughout most of her career. So now the backlash is starting to hurt.
Yeah. So it's one of those. This is why I don't like apology videos, because apology videos end up turning into you're basically contradicting yourself with what you just previously stated. Then on top of that, I still feel like it's completely disingenuous with what she's saying. Whether it's true or not, I don't really give, like, I could care less at this point. Like, I'm never going to donate to her. I'm probably never going to watch her stream. So it doesn't matter
I'd
to me. in
hope
the
you're
long run.
never going to donate to her. I mean,
No.
like what is...
Well, you know, well, now that she apologized, it's okay, and that's the
Oh.
way that people are going to think sometimes, and that's what sucks.
Yeah.
No one's
Is
gonna
that
convince
people
me
are
that
gonna?
what I'm saying is so rude
Yeah,
or
yeah,
so
how good it is.
unacceptable or so
Nobody.
outrageous.
Nobody's changing my mind, bro.
It simply isn't.
Yeah. 'Cause I even think in like a couple of those clips, if you read what's like being said in the chat, they're like, "Oh, I really would, but I don't get my check till this day." It's like, oh my god, like stop.
And that's
Like,
that's not like it's insane. Like there's more depth to this. That's why that disclaimer is this isn't just we're not attacking her. We're attacking the mindset, you know. In
Yeah,
all
like,
fairness, you know,
if
she might be
anybody-
totally hurting from this. I highly doubt it. But this has become a big thing where people, dude, are blowing their paychecks, not just on quote unquote thought streamers, but like just on streamers in general, dude. How do these people drop $1,000 into a
yeah,
streamer?
no, see, like I wouldn't be able to do that, and like that's why I tell anybody who's even watching this, like, if you want to give us money, don't save it for yourself.
No, give us at least $5. You
No,
can do,
I don't
you can
want
do that.
anything.
No,
I
come on,
want you to-
Tom.
Whoa, don't
Stop.
that.
$5. If you
$5,
can't
that's
afford
it, $5.
$5, then you're a piece of a piece of shit. No, just sorry.
Here, I'll do one better. If you want to donate, donate. If you don't want to donate, I don't care.
If
I
you don't
won't hold
want
it again.
if you don't want to donate, why don't you just go get a nice meal? Like that would honestly, I'd rather your bellies be full than you even worry about donating or subscribing to anything.
Spend that $5 on a really good charity that you would enjoy
Yeah,
instead.
fuck yeah, that's smart.
Like I would rather
Like,
see, you know,
Invader
kids who
V's
can't
just chatting stream.
no. If I would say donate it to something that you believe in. Like you don't have to give it to us. Like if you wanted us to have it, go for it. Fuck it, fine. I thank you.
No.
If you don't,
You're pandering. That's what's happening right
I'm
now.
not pandering
No, just
anybody.
kidding. I know.
if people want it, but like, you know, spend your money how you want. Don't let someone else choose how you spend your money. Like that's the one. Like, come on. Like you earn that money, it's yours. Keep it.
I think that's
Do
the
what you want.
definition of idiocy, though, and marketing, and how we get like not bought in, but we get convinced into buying into just dumb shit. And the thing is, I mean, this is probably another topic for another day, but this is the whole idea that sex sells.
It's marketing in general. Which I would, I would love to talk about that one day. Is just marketing as a whole.
We can't talk about it today though, because that would get us in trouble. Probably that'd probably get us in a little bit of a trouble, a little bit of a bind. Because, like I said, I would never attack this girl for her looks, the way she acts, or for her surroundings and who she is, but the way she is. And I think that's totally allowed. I don't know why that wouldn't be allowed. Blazing Emu 7, I'm afraid to click your link. I don't know what that is. So, not clicking any links in Twitch chat. I don't think that's a good idea, personally. You could tell us what it is, though, if you're still there. Are you checking it?
No brim.
What happened?
That's actually a crazy-ass hat.
Oh, did you click the link?
Yeah, actually, it was just memes. Thank you.
Memes. Go figure. Excellent. Thank you, Blazing Emu, for your just random memes. Wonderful. No, but I think let's wrap this up. Once again, personally, I hate it. I hate the mentality. I hate the idea that you would come onto your stream where you have hundreds of thousands of viewers. You're probably making plenty of money. And you've got your panties in the wad that you're just not making enough money. I think that's insane. I mean, I'm a broke sumbitch at this point. Don't know about you, Tom.
I'm getting there.
But to see, I would consider yourself, if you have hundreds of thousands of followers and even some subscribers, I would think you're a little bit, you're on that more privileged side of the streaming spectrum. I'm not saying you're rich, but I don't think this is the way to go about it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as you. If you're not well off, don't subscribe. Keep your money to yourself. Don't let people make decisions for you. Obviously, there really should be, in a sense, I guess, some kind of, I mean, you said, isn't this kind of stuff, against, the TOS and stuff like that?
Yeah, we could
and stuff like
pull up the TOS. I don't think we necessarily need to, but as far as I'm concerned, from what I saw, you can't. Blazing Emu, what mics you using though? I'm using a Blue Yeti, and I believe Tom is also
I'm
using
using
a
the
Blue
same
Yeti.
one actually.
From what I understand, you cannot promote yourself in that aspect. You can't be subscribe, pay me. Here's my donate. You can have those things. You can have donate buttons. People can subscribe on their own free will. There's some other little things, but from what I thought is that you cannot basically be if you don't subscribe and you don't pay me, you're a piece of S. I don't know why. I don't know why I would fucking
censor yourself.
Censor myself right there. Basically, you cannot tell people they're pieces of shit if they do not subscribe to you, and you also cannot. You apparently can't represent other streams, which is really weird. If me and you had our own streams, I couldn't be you must go to Tom, go hang out with Tom. Maybe this is all old, but I think the premise is that if there's one guy who's paying 100 people to promote him on stream, you know what I'm saying? But you can raid other streams, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't know.
I was saying you can host other streams and stuff like that too. I mean, when it comes really down to it, it's also one of those it's a shitty mindset to be in constantly. If this is how unsecure you are with your own life, that you have to basically beg people for donations with your 4K camera, figure something else out.
Yeah, great setup. Everything looks fantastic. In terms of the setup is what I'm saying. Great camera. but a terrible way to go about it. Just absolutely terrible. So change the way you go about it. God, I hope we even have fucking a single subscriber someday, or maybe more than 15 followers. I think that'd be cool. So like, I guess I don't understand the mindset, but I think we beat it to death. I think we've crushed it. She's hopefully gonna learn something from this. I imagine she will. What do you say we take a break, maybe a little like 5-minute, 3-minute siesta, and come back and talk some of the Ethan Klein drama that's been going on, which at this point I think we'll wrap things up pretty well. What do you think, bro?
I'm fine with that. 'Cause I still barely know anything about that, so.
All right, excellent. Guys, we'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll be right back at it. So thanks, guys. This is going well so far. I think the test is going well. Not bad for the first stream. What do you think, Tom?
It's $5. It doesn't cost you that
It's
much.
just $5. It's just $5.
It's very, very
It's just $5.
wonderful because it allows
It's just
streamers to
$5.
support
Guys,
their communities.
come on back.
That's all.
If you got money. If you don't have any fucking money, we need you to leave the stream right now. What do you think, Tom? Do you got $20 on you? Can you hook it up?
No.
What are you drinking? You drink some vodka?
Water. Well, some H2O.
Some high quality H2O. No. All right. We're done with InvaderVie. InvaderVie, we hope the best for you. I spoke with some people in my house. I spoke. I was not saying I did any drugs just now. That is not what I was saying. I actually just had a Freudian slip. But everyone in my house said, from what they saw, that it's not okay. So I think we've got it all figured out at this point. I don't think we need to go much further than that.
It's not okay that what we're doing, or what?
No. What she's doing. What she's doing.
Oh, okay.
They did like her knee highs though. They thought that was cool. So InvaderVie, I think that's what they were saying. Maybe that's not what they were saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to speculate. All right. So the next thing we're going to do here, I think, is we're going to go into kind of the quote-unquote hypocrisy of Ethan Klein, if we can call it that at this point. I'm not really sure.
The only thing I know about this is that it had to do something with a donation. That's as far as I got, really. So
yeah. There's something about donations. Ethan's been having some problems lately due to his podcast, and I don't know why I'm squinting like that. I think it's my life. I do not have the Ethan Klein facial Tourette's. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's fucked up.
No. I mean, I literally, like, every now and then I'm like, that isn't. Yeah, that was dumb. That's not a joke. I'm not trying to make light of that. Like, I literally, like, keep squinting, and I think it's just I'm not used to having this fucking light in my face. Ethan's having a hard time. He's people have, I don't know, man, like, he's fallen off in a sense, I think, once he started, and a lot of people agree with this. Once he started his podcast,
I stopped watching him, like, actually, I was gonna say I stopped watching him like maybe 1 or 2 episodes into his podcast, just because like it wasn't really my cup of tea, I guess.
Yeah, and I've heard that from a lot of people. I've actually watched a lot of his podcasts, and then it just got freaking weird, dude. Like, it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't the same. Like, something happened. There was a switch, and then it might have been. I know he had a period of time where he was going through a little bit of like depression or something. Which, man, that sucks. Like, definitely not. Don't want to even touch on that, dude. I hope he's okay. But it's like, they just weren't. The content wasn't good. I think we can agree on that. The content just wasn't good, and he had great guests on. I don't know. He had some big time names, like the guy that made Rick and Morty. He had Post Malone. He had Joji. He's had all of the lineup. I mean, what did you see? When did you quit watching him?
Like right after the first podcast, and I can't even tell you what it's about because I don't even fucking remember it. I think I only watched, like, from what I remember, like, was only like the first 5 minutes of it, and then I stopped. And then even then, I think like the last thing I remember seeing, I think he still was in New York. Actually, was when I stopped watching him.
Oh shit!
Like before he moved. Yeah.
Well, oh really?
been just like
because he's been in LA for a while. I thought.
Yeah, like I've only watched like a couple of his videos, like scattered here and there, but it's just like it doesn't feel like
there was
it's
a good
same...
period of time where he was in New York. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and like there was just like, like it was just his content didn't feel like what I was originally watching. Like I didn't mind his reaction videos and stuff like that, like him talking trash on people. I always liked
no, yeah. And that was kind of that was the day and age, and what ended like the last video we watched, he was reviewing So Young, like we said, and honestly, I didn't mind that. But apparently,
that was fine on my case.
Yeah, there's been some things that he said or done which has driven a little bit of scrutiny. Actually, there's been a lot of things that he said and have done which is not, abnormal. But this one is from what's his name, the Ordinary Gamer, came out and kind of attacked him over him donate shaming, and it's kind of rough because it's a small video, and then he made a response which is almost 40 minutes long, which we'd like to kind of dive into, but we're not 100% sure, 100%, if we're going to be able to watch that whole thing. I mean, I think we should just kind of ride it out and see. What do you think?
Yeah, no, we'll just go with the flow of it. We'll check out the first video from Ordinary Gamer, which was re-upload, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So he ended up getting rid of the original video and making a re-upload, and then an apology video, which if you've listened to Tom, he's not a huge fan of those, and there might be a good reason as to why not. Can you give us your reason right now as to why you're not a huge fan of the apology videos, and then we'll...
Because usually half the time it's them going back on their word. Like, you clearly did something wrong, you stated it, and then usually half time with, like, actually, funny enough, Ethan, I'm pretty sure, has done videos about this, where whenever someone makes an apology video, they are always like super like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it, blah blah blah, this and that. And it's like, well, clearly it did because you recorded yourself doing it. Like,
yeah, he's done it, and I think PewDiePie's done an apology video like ranking system.
Yeah,
and he's got like, one of them.
And it always goes to like one of those like, it just, like, you don't need to publicly show that you need to apologize. Like, you could just, send a tweet out if you feel like it. Like, yeah, I fucked up. Whatever. Move on.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Generally, an apology... God, I hope we never have to do an apology video. And generally, I feel like, they are doing it right. A lot of them lately is like they don't monetize it. So they're not going to make any money off of it.
That usually I'm very happy about. So usually, like, because if I see that they're monetizing it and like I see an ad for something on it, I will turn it off immediately and still think that person's an idiot.
Yeah, and that could be looked at as like baiting money out and just like continuing onward. I get that, but fuck it. Let's see what some Ordinary Gamer has to say. I've not seen this. I don't know what he's about to say. And then we'll kind of dive into everything else as we start to wind this down over the next. I think it's gonna be at least another hour. So hope everybody's ready to check some shit out. You ready?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and ladies and gentlemen, do we have a hell of a video today. Now, this video is all about Ethan from H3H3, Ethan Healer. As you all know, that H3H3 is a channel that I've actually followed since its beginning. I was there for the reaction videos, and I noped the fuck out when the podcast began. I watched a couple episodes, it's fine, but I'm sorry, after how long that podcast has been running, it's just really, it really shows why H3H3 has gone out of touch. The guests you invite are treated like shit sometimes, okay? You have these really awkward cringe moments like Bill Burr. You invite podcast stars like Keemstar, okay, who people don't like, and then immediately go into the comments and say, yeah, fuck this guy, we hate him too.
Okay.
Which is an incredibly...
No, I don't want to drone on. He just made a great... Yeah, he did have Bill Burr on, but he made a good point. He invited Keemstar on, like, pretty early on, and then as soon as Keemstar left, he fucking, like, was like, yeah, fuck this guy, we don't like him either. In the comment section, like, while he was on the plane heading home. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, dude, like, there has been some really fucked moments with this podcast, and the way they've decided to, like, brush those under the table is like, oh, well, podcasts are hard. It's in the moment.
Oh, yeah, no, they are.
They are fucking hard. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I agree. They're definitely hard. We're doing one right now. I wouldn't say it's near the production value. Obviously, we're not superstars.
Yeah, we're just
but
two schmucks
irregardless,
talking.
you don't fucking do that. Like if Blazing Emu 7 just now, who came into our chat, were to come and say, hey, like, we like you guys a lot, and then we go to the chat, you know, hey, come on to our podcast or whatever, and then we fucking like, fuck this guy, guy's human garbage. Like, that's kind of, I mean, we all know Keemstar has a reputation and he's a problem child.
Yeah.
But
and
why
now,
would you
when
even
said
do
in the
that
context
to him?
of like the comments of like fuck this guy, that was Ethan saying that about Keemstar, or Keemstar saying that about Ethan?
No, yeah, it was Keemstar came on to the podcast, and then when he left, Ethan said that in the comments about Keemstar on the podcast. Like,
oh wow,
yeah, like shit talked him, and I'm sure we could find videos. I don't want to go that deep into it, but yeah, it's a perfect example of like, those were things that drove me away, and I'm not even like the hugest fan of Keemstar, or, you know, I don't know, whatever. But
I agree with what Mudahar said, where he said like he was there for the reaction videos, and then once he started the podcast, he just hopped the fuck off. And like I feel like a lot of his fans have done that.
I think so too.
Like it's kind of like in the same sense with like I don't know if you know who he is, like Jontron and stuff like that. Like
say again, who?
Jontron.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever he releases a video, like garners millions of views, and people always wait for those videos. Yeah, he's had some, you know, stuff that he said in the past that fucked him over, but he took the time and went along with it. Also, by the way, he never made an apology video.
And it blows over inevitably. Yeah, you get hurt more by it. I mean, we thought we were going to talk about that with iDubbbz and how he made his response to the people calling him a simp, which I think is it's over at this point. I don't think we need to do that. But what happened is it backlashed on him more than anything. Where if he would have just stayed quiet, he would have been the simp fucking king. You know what I mean? Like, and he could have utilized that. But it's the same thing that killed Leafy is Here. If Leafy would have stayed quiet for the iDubbbz content cop, or maybe made like a funny video about it, he would have been fine. He would have been totally fine. But instead, he fought against it. And I've noticed some people don't understand what the iDubbbz video is about when when he's making fun of his chin. He was utilizing the same tactics that Leafy uses against other people. Yeah, and it was totally sarcastic. That's all.
Yeah, and even then, he was basically just giving him a taste of his own medicine at that point.
110%.
I understand people's natural reaction is they want to defend themselves, but you know, if a huge YouTuber who's at that point, I think they were pretty much around the same, in popularity, just take it on the chin and fucking walk away.
Oh,
I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, Leafy did it with the Billy the Fridge Kid.
Yeah.
That guy. He made fun of him.
They're buddies now.
The guy made a response, and then now they're best friends. Should have went about it that way, maybe.
Well, and I would say
have a whole different outcome now.
Undoubtedly, Leafy was on the rise. I mean, Leafy was getting millions of views per video. You know, it was pretty impressive. And I mean, not to say iDubbbz hasn't been.
And that was when we were doing our YouTube stuff. Yeah. And
oh yeah, it's terrible. 2016, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was also when we saw the most clones of Leafy is Here in the world.
Yeah. And there's still some around.
Oh yeah, no, there's still some around.
And they're getting big views. It's terrible. All right, fuck it. We need to move on. Let's
let's check this out.
Yeah, let's check this out. Oh no. I messed up our video.
If they use it appropriately in our homes.
Where were we?
And we don't really have an end in sight, okay? All we can do is come together and try to survive.
Oh, were we?
Immediately go into the comments and say, yeah, fuck this guy. We hate him too. Which is an incredibly sneaky thing to do. Okay, by the way, I'm just going to put it out there. There's a lot of examples I can put into this situation that I find generally weird about the podcast. And I'm not going to go into it's a boring podcast because, yes, it's boring to me, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who jerk off to every episode that comes out. So it's a difference of opinion. But beyond that, the biggest complaint that I had with that podcast is the ego that comes out all the time. Ethan has went from a relatable YouTuber to a YouTuber that has gotten a massive amount of success, a massive amount of cash, and that's not the worst. What's the worst about it is he's went from all of that humble beginning to a fucking egotistical dude at the end of the day. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It goes beyond the ego, because this video is sponsored by a shitty fucking take. Now, let's just get into it, okay? Now, if you don't know, the pandemic is all around us. We're quarantined.
What do you think about that?
Well, actually, we've talked about this last time. I've had this feeling that Ethan has actually just been kind of putting out videos to just try to ride that wave that he had like 2-3 years, like before he started the podcast.
But do
I
you
feel like
think
he's constantly...
do you think he's an egomaniac? Like, that would be my question, because I don't necessarily think so.
I wouldn't say like a lot, but he definitely like, to me, he's kind of coming off that way a little bit, like as of lately. Like, I think it's because, like, you told me the next video that we're gonna watch after this is about 37 minutes, and that's his response.
It's a long fucking video, yeah, and
that's
kind of an egomaniac thing to do, I guess.
You're reaching for the sky there on that one a little bit, so it's a little too excessive. So I would say, like, he's a little bit out there.
And I would say the intro is somewhat, well, once we see it, that would be a whole nother talking point. But yeah, I would say that intro to this almost hour-long episode of him defending himself is, you know, it's a fun way to go about it. I liked it in a sense. I was like, okay, that's funny, I get it. But it also was like, was it necessary? Yeah, let's keep going here. Let's see. I think there's a lot of talking points. Let's not get too lost.
Quarantined in our homes, and we don't really have an end in sight, okay? All we can do is come together and try to survive all of this as much as we can. Getting out of this pandemic, the world is going to be a lot different than it was when it started. It may take us time to recover, but it is what it is. We're stuck in it together, and we are a team, and we'll come out of it strong. Now, in this trying time, Ethan has had plenty of time to sit on Twitter and morally grandstand and basically spread his political beliefs, as shitty as they may be and as pseudo-intellectual as he comes across. But that's not even my concern. My concern is his donation shaming and how hypocritical it fucking is. And it's something that has actually pissed me off enough to make this video. Now, going into this, if you don't know, Jeff Bezos, the richest fucking dude in the world, okay, donated $100 million. Now, as far as I'm considering this, $100 million is $100 million.
Worth of work
that is a lot of money that has gone to save lives and fight against this pandemic. You may look at his net worth and say, wow, he donated a tiny percentage of his cash, but that's $100 million that any organization can do wonders with if they use it appropriately.
Bro, he was trying not to burp right there.
Yeah, he was trying not to eat a burp or cough. Yeah, but that I agree with. Like, you know, like, even though, yeah, it's Scott Bezos, like, he can own Disney if he felt like it, like, and still be able to make the money back within the day.
Oh, easy.
So, like, yeah, it's like, that's a low number for Scott Bezos. But at the same time, it's still $100 million that's now going into, you know, whatever he's donating it to. So it's still $100 million more than what we had before he did it. So,
$100 million is not a small amount of money just because it's a small amount of money to him.
Yeah,
I think that's, like, something we all need to get our fucking heads out of our asses
why, like,
about.
It's still very, like, that's why I do agree with his point on that, where is still a lot of money. Like, if someone handed you $100 million, you'd be like, wow, that's a lot of fucking money.
If somebody handed me $1,000, that's a lot of money.
So,
you know?
If someone handed me $5,
hold on, guys. If you have $5, just $5, just stop being a cheap piece of shit. Because if you work, hold on, if you don't work and you just sit on fucking YouTube every day, you've got $5. And if you don't, you're probably just jerking off to our stream. You piece of shit. You should just donate the $5. Sorry, Tom. What do you? No,
And I will counteract that with, if you have $5 and you're sitting on YouTube or Twitch all day, save that $5.
No.
And turn it into $20.
Yeah, turn it into 20. Don't listen to the InvaderVie. It's terrible. But yes, I think bottom line, for somebody to make a comparison, no matter who you are, that say you could be worth $1 trillion, and to say that $100 million is just a small piss in the pot, that's just not true. That's a lot of money. I think that comes down to the whole people don't understand numbers. I think that's something we'll always look at, is like the average person looks at 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to 1 million to 100 million to 1 billion, almost in the same light. We've made light of what the size of numbers are.
I think it's more or less
stupid,
like,
but
it's not that we make light of when other people have it. Because like we said, like for us, $100 million is a lot of fucking money. To Scott Bezos, that's probably not a lot of money, but it's still
I doubt it.
No,
that's a lot of money because he understands numbers. That's why he has the money.
That's why he owns Amazon.
Yeah, like it's a ton of money to him because he doesn't.
Actually, I think everything on my desk,
it's an easy one,
was bought on Amazon. So you're welcome, Scott Bezos.
Yeah. I've donated at least $100 to Scott Bezos, so at the very minimum, he could donate $100 million to the Orphan Relief Fund or something. That's another thing though too. His money is not the company's money. That's not how that works. Like personal funds to your company, like is he donating that money out of Amazon? I highly doubt it.
That's his money.
Yeah, it's his money.
Also,
so if Amazon is worth $100 billion, he might be worth just a fraction of that. I don't know. Let's not get too crazy. Let's continue on. Let's
stop eating the trash. Sorry, my dog.
Hold on.
Go.
Who's eating trash? Who in your house is eating trash, Tom?
My dog. Go to bed. Go. Good girl.
Aw. That's worth at least 5 subs right there. $5. That dog clip. Let's see.
That is.
Hold on. Look at that. $5. Anyone.
In my messy bed.
That's awesome. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Ethan did the exact same thing. He looked at Jeff Bezos, said, wow, the richest guy in the world only gave $100 million, and just completely shat on it. Now, I'm just going to say this much, okay? Donation shaming is shitty, Ethan, okay? Let me just put it out there. The take I had is the right fucking take, because it shows you that money is going to be used to save lives. To look at someone donate and then immediately look at how much they're worth is so fucking toxic,
heated.
it's not even funny.
Hot.
But he made that take.
Super hot.
And then it's also hypocritical because it's the same guy that lives in a $10 million fucking mansion, look it up, and hasn't donated shit as far as I'm considered to COVID-19. And you know how I fucking believe that? That's because this is the same guy that donated only $1,000 to Team Trees when that was out. See, I can do the same fucking thing you do, Ethan, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not a fucking hypocrite when it comes to this shit. The reality of it is, he fucking only donated a tiny % of his net worth to a charity. And that's his take. If I was to apply Ethan logic, yeah, guess what? You're just as shitty as Bezos. But I'm not going to do that because in my mind, I say, wow, $1,000 to a charity? Good job. That's $1,000 that charity didn't fucking have. That'll change something. That'll change the future. That'll help somebody out. That's what I look at. All right? Any donation is good when it goes to a good cause. Whether you donate $1, whether you donate $1 million,
that's the whole
I
thing,
believe, you did something altruistic.
That's like literally what we were just saying.
I don't look at, wow, you only donated $100, but you could have given 10,000. No, because $100 is better than 0. And that's just what it comes down to. This is an individual that morally grandstands against billionaires while being a multimillionaire himself. Let me put it into perspective, Ethan. You're so fucking out of touch that you and Jeff...
Wait, what? What was that? Brentwood Farmers Market today. Privilege and wealth will not protect you from this. I'm not going to... Yeah, I don't want to read the last part because that's going to get us demonetized. I'm a part of these sorts of things. Well, I'm not anymore because we stopped doing markets. But this is not absolutely untrue, to be totally fair. And what he's saying is that these people at a farmer's market, which I do a lot of farmer's markets, for my other companies. And this is the truth, man. A lot of these people did not give a fuck. A lot of these people kept or are currently keeping their farmers markets open, and there's still people visiting them during the pandemic. It is kind of a problem. Honestly. I mean, it just is. Like you can't be like, let's social distance, but then pretend that farmers markets are actually
a safe zone.
Not just a safe zone. What they've done is they're pretending that farmers markets, and it's usually the farmer market owners, are saying that they're considered an essential grocery store. Wrong. I can't eat a fucking candle. You are not a grocery store. Like, that is totally fucking wrong.
See, I think the whole thing of why is because they're going off the fact that they're called farmers markets. They automatically think that it just includes food. Like, no, like I've been to farmers markets. No. I've bought comic books at farmers markets. Like, like it's not considered essential. Like,
no. The initial idea of a farmer's market is, back in the day, it was the farmers would come to and it was a market particularly for the farmers where they would have all their produce.
They would sell all their all their crops, produce, whatever meat they were selling or some shit like that, and go from there. Now it's become more or less like it's slowly becoming a flea market, actually. Now that you think about it,
it's perfect. That's exactly what it's becoming. It's becoming a flea market where food is still like the penultimum, like they make the most money. But then you have all those people selling their shirts, and like it's trying to be all like cutesy and shit, but they don't make a dime. And those, when we decided to stop doing the farmers markets well before the lockdown started here on this, in Arizona, and it was because this is bullshit. We're not essential. We're not.
That's the thing. You shouldn't have to risk your life just to.
It's more about other people. I don't want anybody coming up to my booth and getting sick because we determined we wanted to stay open. But we should talk about this later, I think. This is a good topic. I like it. But I like how he's utilizing this against Ethan, which I think is wrong. I think Ethan's in the right on that one. So that's one for Ethan.
No, I'll give him credit on that.
Multi-millionaire himself. Let me put it into perspective, Ethan. You're so fucking out of touch that you and Jeff Bezos, yes, I know he's about 130 million times richer than you, I guess, by your math. But guess what? You're both in a situation that is better than 99.9% of the fucking world out there. There's people who are living paycheck to paycheck right now, wondering what the fuck they can do to move on month by month. And you're over here shitting on a billionaire donating $100 million to a charity? I get it. He's the richest guy in the world. Yeah, I've done the math. I know what his net worth is. And if you were smart, Ethan, you would know that most multi-billionaires actually have their money tied up in stock and property, and they can't liquidate that shit right now in the middle of a pandemic. But again, that just shows me how much life fucking experience you actually have. See, the point that I'm trying to make here is hypocrisy is fucking terrible, especially when it comes from this guy who was so in touch with the community years ago and is now so fucking out of touch it's not even funny. Don't you guys own Teddy Fresh, by the way? One of that big, leading brand, the affordable $50 t-shirt company that is out there? Why don't you guys sit down and make N95 respirator masks and donate them to health officials so they can use those masks to help protect themselves while they protect the general public getting infected right now? Because the death toll is getting pretty...
I feel like this man's just mad at Ethan.
Yeah, I think he went from being on course and now he's just on a tangent.
Yeah,
it's one of those he's passionate about what he's talking about. And I give him credit on that.
I think so. I do too. I mean, I get the idea of being passionate, but it does seem a little intense.
Fucking high, Ethan. But you're not going to do that, okay? You're not going to do it because this is the same individual that only acts out of self-fucking interest. Don't believe me? How about you look at the fucking FUPA fund? When has that shit been active? It's sitting there with $0 in the fund, and he ain't doing shit with it. It wasn't even active at all. Yes, a fund designed to help YouTubers fight fair use issues. I guess it's not here anymore. I guess it's not functioning. Hey, shit, we forgot about it. It was great when it financed and served us, but I guess it don't serve us anymore.
I actually remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 2016, 2017?
2016. I think it was 2016, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was a big, big thing. I completely forgot about that too.
Oh, it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
It saved, like, they utilized it to get through that lawsuit with that dude, which supposedly there's no money. I think he does address that in his video though. So
okay.
Yeah.
You see, the reality of it is I've screwed with H3H3 for a long time, and I could definitely get behind Ethan on everything. But this concept of donation shaming, of hypocrisy, of being fuck the rich while also being rich yourself is just incredibly toxic to me. You know, it's gotten to a point where I could laugh at everything H3H3 posted, but dude, you are not a fucking intellectual. Your political takes are hot fucking garbage. Okay, let me just put that shit out there. And then not only that, but you're...
I will say something though. I haven't seen him actually point out like a legitimate part where he shows Ethan donation shaming.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen that, and the video's almost over, as you can see.
I think he's more or less because, like, I think, like, because that's why the whole thing, like, he kind of went on like a tangent about it. But like, I think, like, you can clearly tell, like, he started the video out by saying, like, you know, Ethan's, you know, shaming Scott Bezos for donating only $100 million when he, in fact, himself can also donate money, but he's not. So it's no money as opposed to some money.
Well, and the one thing I saw him say is like, oh, he only donated $1,000 to like the Save the Trees fund or whatever.
Save the Trees thing. Yeah.
But it's like, but that wasn't him like, look, I donated $1,000 and Bezos hasn't donated anything. Like I guess I don't know. I'm not
because I know he's also like, he did kind of mention that, like, you know, he's only really like donating the money just to be relevant still at certain points. I think that's what he said, something like that.
It could be, yeah, that could be, but that's kind of like speculative. You know what I mean? It's not exactly like hard and fast. Just seems a little, I don't know, seems a little.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, this is his opinion about a matter. Like that's the way that's what I still see about this.
Perfect.
Your takes against the rich who actually do more than the common person despite them not giving every single thing. Which, by the way, Ethan, how do you expect every fucking multi-billionaire, do you expect them at every crisis to give half their net worth away? I mean, that doesn't fucking work that way. I just don't understand how you get that mind into your head. But the reality of it is that this is an individual that shits on other people's for how little they donate while also doing the exact same themselves. You know, Ethan, if you really fucking cared, okay, if you really gave a shit about helping the fucking world, we would all see it, because you are the one guy to definitely rub it in our faces if you were to help the world out. I'm just going to put that shit out there. It sickens me that you're going to be at this situation. You're going to use a pandemic to push some fucking ideology or some political belief or some nonsense when you fall into the pit of hypocrisy yourself. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to stretch this video out to 10 fucking minutes. I made my point. I said what I said. And you know what? Ethan, you're probably going to fucking watch this video at some point. I know you will. Okay, I definitely see that level of vanity in you at this point, that ego. And you're going to watch this video, and you're going to say, wow, here's another fucking hater, this smelly Indian hater on the internet who just doesn't understand me.
What the
and you know what? I guess I don't fucking understand you, because we are so fucking out of touch, it's not even funny. But if for a second you get a moment of self-clarity and realize, wow, I had a really shitty fucking take, then maybe I'll just get that shred of respect back for you. But at the end of the day, I don't fucking care. I ain't jealous. I'm doing my own thing. I'm fine. I'm doing what I do.
That's not true.
I know
this guy is clearly very mad.
You're gonna have fan bases clash, and you're gonna have this fucking. You're gonna have somebody say, "Wow, I guess you're just a hater." I guess you're a hater of what? Hater of a shitty take? Damn straight.
What is? I don't. Okay, I don't get. Okay, for one, I don't get what the shitty. I just don't get the shitty take thing. And he's clearly mad. I wouldn't say he's a hater, but he's clearly fucking super pissed, like super mad, because some of the shit he's saying at the end there just is almost completely irrelevant to what he was trying to say. Like he didn't.
Yeah, I think it's just the point is like he kind of, the way that he sees Ethan at this point is he's going to only counteract it. Because
he was and this is his words, like, I'm a dirty Indian. Is that what he fucking said about himself? Like, why would he, like, hold on, Tom, tell me you're a dirty white piece of shit.
I'm not, though. I took a shower.
Exactly. Like why? You know, like why would? What is the purpose of going to that extreme? Saying he's just gonna look. Oh, look at I'm this dirty Indian or whatever. Like what the fuck? Like, I didn't think of that throughout any of this. Did you? I mean, what the fuck? Little intense. Little intense. It's a little too much. I don't know.
It might also, you got to remember, like, it's also one of those, like, people of other cultures and races and stuff like that. They obviously get like the shit end of the stick sometimes with certain things. So they might think everybody thinks like that, or they might think nobody thinks like that.
That could be. That could be.
I've dealt with plenty
I've
of
never
people
watched this guy's videos, so I don't know if he's ever done
That's the
said
thing.
or
Like
done
I've watched some of his videos. Like the last like couple months, he's been like kind of popping up into like my feed and stuff. And like most of his videos are just like talking about like just random little things in video games that are like like why you shouldn't buy this video game because it has malware on it, like, and why we shouldn't stand up for that kind of shit. So like this video is like completely out there for him. So like at least from what I've seen, like I've seen most of his stuff just because of like based off of whatever games are out and stuff.
I mean, maybe this is his breakout. Who knows? I mean,
no,
he's to have a pretty good amount of subscribers, right?
Well, no, this guy's already like over 1 million subs.
Oh,
like,
is
as
he?
is.
Oh, is he really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had that many.
Yeah, you got to remember we're watching on the.
Well, that's why he's doing this. Like clearly, there it is, dude. I don't know. I definitely want to cut into Ethan's. I don't know how far we'll go into it. It's gonna be it's a long video. It's almost 40 minutes. Maybe we should, and just because maybe we can get a little more insight through him.
Yeah.
But we have at least 3 more videos lined up after that, and they're just 2 more, and they're just as kind of telling as what he has to say. But I just give me like 30 seconds. I'm getting a lot of sound going on behind me, and then just 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. All right, bro.
All right, no problem.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's get back into this motherfucker.
Alrighty.
Oh, excuse my F-bomb. That's totally gonna demonetize us on YouTube. Yeah, actually, we can't even be monetized. It's gonna take a long time. So
yeah, so we can curse as much as we want.
No, as we said, $5 donate. No, I'm not gonna get back into that. We're not gonna get back into the fucking trying to get people to donate to us. So we're done with the Some Ordinary Gamers upload.
Yes.
Of the hypocrisy of Ethan Klein. Let's jump into Ethan Klein's rebuttal, which is closer to an hour long than it is 30 minutes. I think that's kind of a wild thing. That's not great, but let's do it. Let's see.
To me, that's just like that's far too long for a response.
It's insanely too long, dude. Back when I just zoomed in on you again because I'm having problems trying to juggle this, but say that again. Look in the camera and say that again.
It just seems a little excessive for a response video. It seems way too excessive.
Way too excessive. Trying to juggle scenes and playing this. This has been a lot of fun, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying it.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. But I agree with that 100%. It's just entirely too excessive. We need $5 or you're cheap. Sorry. It's just entirely too excessive. It really is. I think so too. But I watched a good amount of it. I don't think I finished it because I was like, oh, well, let's hold on to this for later. And it wasn't terrible. But now seeing like in the hypocrisy of Ethan Klein by the ordinary gamer himself, self-titled the stinky Indian, is that what he said? Some stupid shit.
Dirty Indian.
Dirty Indian. You shouldn't do that to yourself.
Racist.
There's don't be self-deprecating just because. Like I hate that. I think we should have a thing about self-deprecation. But
I'm just a crazy honky.
Yeah, I'm just a dirty white boy. Damn it, dude. I think this video is just never even... It's going to go nowhere because we're doing all the things we shouldn't be doing, even if we're joking. But we should check this out. Whether, let's see. We'll see if it's entertaining enough. We might get all the way through it. I don't know how he could take 8 minutes and turn it into 37 minutes. But let's take a look.
Hi, my name's Ethan, and I live out in beautiful Los Angeles with my wife, Hila. I'm a YouTuber with a flawless reputation. You might say, everybody loves me. I've got a podcast that I run with my wife, and I honestly can't think of a single bad episode we've ever made.
Oh, no.
We've got A-list celebrities, and now that I think about it, I'm sure everybody loves me.
No, stupid. Everybody hates you.
What? Get out of here.
Wait, hold on. What did we just say about self-deprecation? Like, I love it. It's a joke. And Hila's looking amazing after having the kid, man. Congrats to them, guys. If they see this, congratulations, you guys. We're not talking. Obviously, we're just talking. Like, you guys are fucking congrats on the kid. But self-deprecation, don't do it just because it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Especially in like a response to someone like not liking you, I think is like the main thing. Like,
yeah, it's sarcasm. We get it. It's sarcasm. It's like, oh, but it's like you're pointing out your flaws, self-deprecating, like the stupid shit you've done.
Because like at this point, it's like, oh, that's what he thinks of me. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna say it too, so it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly that's the whole point. Is like when you self-deprecate, you make it almost like you almost make those things okay. Like I fucked up, but now I see it. You know, and I'm not, like I said, we're not talking shit, but it's like, it kind of takes away from what he's trying to do, in my opinion, right now. Like, he could have just not done this. I don't know. Let's see.
You may have noticed our beautiful LA mansion. And no, it's not a set. It's really where we live. Oh, sour.
Hey, don't tell people where we live.
Well, it's their business too, Hila. Everybody's got a right to know where we live.
Hey, but didn't we move because we kept getting swatted?
Well, yes, Hila, but don't worry about that. We've got 2 vicious guard dogs to protect us. You guys ever notice how every now and then someone will make a new video about how terrible I am?
It's a nice house.
Every now and then?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, fine. All the time.
They have a cute
You
kid.
see, some people tell me I've
That's a nice
changed,
car.
and frankly,
Whoa.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, cut the crap, Ethan. You're a great hypocrite and nobody likes you. I just watched this video and I don't even like you anymore.
What? That can't be true. Let me see that.
And by the way, Ethan, I told you not to use my car.
All right. I mean, this is what it is. Fuck it.
Okay,
So-
let's have a look here.
I mean, it's self-deprecation. There is something there that I liked a lot,
Yeah,
though.
like he's
Do
he's
not
playing a
dox
parody
people.
on himself.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely doing like a parody on himself, but at the same time, it's coming off as just like it's egotistical in a sense. Like it's like
You're pissed
cool.
about
like,
you definitely have a riot on him about being egotistical, which I think is probably
it's just
pretty realistic.
Like you don't need to make a 37-minute video explaining why this other guy's point is not true while showing in the video that you have a fucking nice car, a big ass mansion, 2 really cute dogs.
2 really cute dogs.
I like dogs, so dogs are cute.
I know. Well, and so I want to like kind of mirror off of that in a different direction. It's like I don't like the idea of self-deprecating to get people off your back, but I also I really latched on to the whole like people are doxing him, like, oh, you need to like this is where he lives. That's completely fucked up. Yeah, that's totally fucked up.
And I will say this, like living in New York, especially because like I'm pretty sure he lived in the city, and like, so he didn't own the house that he was in the city in New York. He was definitely renting that. So if he was constantly getting swatted, that means that he was constantly having to deal with the landlord, possibly kicking him out and putting him on the streets at any given moment. So that that's like it's like very few people, especially if they live in the city, own an actual house or an apartment in there. Like,
one thing I wonder though, because I think he's lived in Los Angeles for a while. And I wonder if he had to move from his other house in Los Angeles. That might be some digging we have to do. Like, I haven't done a whole lot of research. I don't know if it's like, I don't know why. like, I don't know if he moved from New York to LA to this house. I feel like he was in LA for a while.
But he's been in LA for at least a couple of years. I know that.
Yeah, and I think, well, I mean, but you gotta, you know, how fucking petty are we? You know, not. I guess I get what he's saying because the big thing is like, over time, if you're making more money, yeah, you're gonna get a nicer house or something.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you have to, but realistically, if you have enough money to buy a $9 million house, fucking buy a $9 million house. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Like, they shouldn't dox you over it, because that's what it is. If somebody's like, oh, Ethan Klein has a $9 million house, this is where it's at, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you're fucking getting doxxed. That is exactly what that is.
Being dicks to be dicks.
Yeah, no.
Just for the hell of it. So
it's all of this, I get that, but I get what you're saying with the whole like, did you have to like show your Ferrari? And you know, yeah. I kind of get that. I'm not gonna hold it totally against him, but it's like, it's a little weird, and then that's how it ends. You know,
it's a little too much. It's like you don't have to. Like, I understand you're parroting yourself on that. Like, oh, you know, like, oh, I'm so rich. Here's my car. Here's this. Here's my huge house. My beautiful wife.
Nobody docks your Ferrari, bro.
Yeah, like.
All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's keep going.
1 million views, 96% like ratio.
God damn.
And this guy must be right. I am a piece of shit. Well, let's have a look and see what he actually said.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and ladies and gentlemen, do we have a hell of a video today. Now, this video is all about Ethan from H3H3, Ethan Healer. As you all know, that H3H3 is a channel that I've actually followed since its beginning. I was there for the reaction videos, and I noped the fuck out when the podcast began. I watched a couple episodes. It's fine.
Hey,
but
at least it's in high definition this time.
How long that podcast has been running, it's just really, it really shows
just play the whole
why
video?
H3H3 has gone out of touch.
That's what it
the
feels
guests
like.
you invite are treated like shit sometimes, okay?
Right.
You have these really awkward cringe moments like Bill Burr.
That was awkward.
You invite podcast stars like Keemstar, okay, who people don't like, and then immediately go into the comments and say, yeah, fuck this guy, we hate him too.
That's true, I do hate him.
And that's not the worst.
Yep.
What's the worst about it is he's went from all of that humble beginning to a fucking egotistical dude at the end of the day. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It goes beyond the ego, because this video is sponsored by a shitty fucking take.
Oh, okay. So something actually did happen. There's a reason he's making this video. So what was my bad take?
Now, in this trying time, Ethan has had plenty of time to sit on Twitter and morally grandstand and basically spread his political beliefs, as shitty as they may be, and as pseudo-intellectual as he can.
Now I get why it's
but that's
37
not even
minutes
my
long.
concern. My concern is his donation shaming and how hypocritical it fucking is. And it's something that has actually pissed me off enough to make this video.
Wait, what? Donation shaming? I don't recall donation shaming anyone at all.
Now, going into this, if you don't know, Jeff Bezos, the richest fucking dude in the world, okay, donated $100 million. Now, as far as I'm considering this, $100 million is $100 million. That is a lot of money that has gone to save lives and fight against this pandemic. You may look at his net worth and say, wow, he donated a tiny percentage of his cash, but that's $100 million that any organization can do wonders with if they use it appropriately.
Oh, hey, there's the burp.
Ethan did the exact same thing. He looked at Jeff Bezos, said, wow, the richest guy in the world only gave $100 million, and just completely shat on it.
To be this righteously angry, surely I must have said that. I mean, all of his fans are spamming our subreddit, they're tweeting at me hate shit, they're emailing me hate shit. It's got all these views and likes. Wow. Surely I actually said that, right? Let me actually look back and see, what did I say? So I talked about how Amazon was only giving sick leave to people who test positive for coronavirus, which, I mean, admittedly is insane and obviously not donation shaming. I talked about Whole Foods asking its employees to donate their own sick days to other employees so they could take time off. Well, that's not donation shaming, but it is shitty. I did say...
Okay, I agree with that. Instead of, like, providing compensation, a company's like, well, you can, as an employee, donate your time to other employees. Yeah. That's pretty fucked. Like, I hate that. And that is not donation shaming, in all fairness.
No, it's not donation shaming at all. Yeah, no, going with the Amazon thing, like, I've heard Amazon is not a great company to work for. Like, at least if you're not in, like, the corporate level. If, like, you're on, like, the more, like, Whole Foods warehouse and all that stuff, I know it's, like, a really crappy company to work for.
Yeah, and I've heard like delivering and things like that isn't too bad. You know, stuff I don't know.
That's the thing.
Never
like,
really
it
looked
might
at
not
it.
be where you are, but I know like where I am, like those guys are on like a strict time limit. Like when they have to donate stuff sometimes, like they're on like a.
You mean
Oh yeah,
deliver?
15. Yeah, like donate what I said.
Yeah, you said when they have to donate. No, yes, and it's extremely strict because it's all within a time limit. But it's, I mean, it's at least here in Arizona, like the pay is fair, which the pay here in Arizona is complete trash. So when
I know
when
the pay
people
is
see like
above-
$18 an hour, they're like, whoa, like they're going crazy. So,
Yeah, see, I think it's the same in New York actually, $18 an hour. But even then, our minimum wage is at 15 an hour. So
what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, our minimum wage is still, I think it's 12 here. I mean, our living income or like living expenses aren't as high. It's getting bad though, dude. It's
you know, in New York, the living expenses are freaking ridiculous. So like even $15 an hour, unless you're working 60 hours a week, it's still tough to kind of scrap by. So,
fucking terrible, dude. Yeah, it's
especially if you have a family, a house, a mortgage, a car, all that shit. That's
fucking
gonna add
luck,
up.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucking terrible. All right, let's see what we got.
Jeff Bezos is looking more and more like Lex Luthor. He looks more and more like Lex Luthor more and more every day. Which may be considered body shaming, but frankly, Lex Luthor is a lot more attractive than Jeff Bezos, so I don't think that's body shaming or donation shaming. But he's so certain that I donation shame Jeff Bezos. Imagine coming and making a video with such righteous anger about something that never even happened.
My concern is his donation shaming and how hypocritical it fucking is.
Well, I didn't say it, folks.
Because this video is sponsored by a shitty fucking take.
Imagine making a video that starts with, this video was sponsored by a shitty fucking take, and the take didn't even happen, and then all of a sudden, that shitty fucking take is yours to have.
By a shitty fucking take.
Now, just because I'm sure there's some people who are saying, well, it probably happened in a different podcast somewhere else, let me just reference you here now. He admits in a later video that I actually never said it. So let's just put that to rest.
I think we have a pretty excellent cliffhanger at the end of this.
Yeah.
Right now.
Remember that.
Going back to that original video, I'm going to take an L on a point where I talked about Ethan Klein donation shaming Jeff Bezos, and while he didn't outright donation shame Jeff Bezos, it's honestly really hard to sometimes look in that favor, because when you go in and check Ethan's podcast record, and how he's definitely punching around on billionaires all the time.
For the record, I would way rather simp for Belle Delphine than Jeff Bezos. At least she sends me spit. All Jeff Bezos sends me is coronavirus and all my Amazon packages. I bet you this guy licks all of his Amazon packages just to get closer to Jeff Bezos' musk.
This is why.
Now,
to go into the topic of what we were talking about before, with like where he's kind of just making content, because like he's just making content to be relevant. Like that's why he threw that little part in there. Like I'm gonna mention Belle Delphine.
Which Belle Delphine hasn't been a part of anything for a long time. I
but
thought,
like he's still probably
like,
caught up on that. So like you know, I gotta add these key points to make myself still seem relevant.
And then like some ridiculous shit about like Jeff Bezos spitting on Amazon. I don't know. I mean, I didn't even think that was funny. I guess is the big thing. Is like I'm not like stop it, you cringe lord. Like he's not an edge lord, but it just sounds dumb.
Yeah. Like to me, it's like you don't need to add that kind of stuff in there if you're just making a rebuttal to a video that someone made for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Saw his video because it was spammed to our subreddit 100 billion times. I immediately went and tweeted him a correction. I showed him the dates of the highlight and the podcast from which those came from. And I said, yo, these happened 15 days before Jeff Bezos ever donated. So obviously it would be temporarily impossible for me to have donation shamed him. Now, as I go forward, please bear in mind that his original video entitled The Hypocrisy of Ethan Klein, in which the whole central thesis is me donation shaming Jeff Bezos, is still up in its original form without any correction or note or comment of any sort trying to retract or correct the record to falsely make a statement about someone and to know that your statement is false and to keep it up. Well, that's the very definition of a slander itself, folks.
Donation shaming and how hypocritical.
Rest in peace.
Good Lord.
Kobe. So now that we're all on the same page,
Hold on.
let's enjoy.
Right now, I feel like we should show the video that I feel like right now, oh shit. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. More than anything, we should show that video by Keemstar right now.
Yeah, this is the one that you were telling me about, but you didn't tell me what it was about.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like more than at any point, this would be the point to do it.
Yeah, because I remember you said you have a plot twist even from me, so.
Yeah, sorry for hitting the LFTOS be right back button. I was like, ooh, like getting all fucking jazzed up. Let's turn this on because he's clearly just like he's got it nailed, which I thought he did too until I saw this, and this would be something to talk about. So here we go. I know not everybody's a huge fan of Keemstar, especially not H3H3, but let's see what he has to say.
It's time for our final story. Some Ordinary Gamers versus H3H3. Now,
this
here's
was
the thing.
April 19th,
A couple days ago,
2020,
we reported right here on Drama Alert that
So,
Some Ordinary
yeah.
Gamers uploaded a video bashing H3H3. And one of his main points was that he was saying that Ethan Klein was donation shaming the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, for donating $100 million. However, that was incorrect because Ethan...
Yo, shout out, Tom. Like you said, that beard. That beard.
Oh,
is
yeah, no,
something
that
else.
beard is fucking amazing.
Keemstar, if you ever see this, we sponsor your beard 100%. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful beard. I wish I know if I even grew mine out that long, it's not that lush. That's beautiful, brother.
See, I can grow my beard out that long, but I get too lazy to fucking maintain it.
Yeah,
I
mean,
don't know how.
You've got the beard. It looks great. I mean, mine, I don't have the dark hairs like you do. You and him have dark hair, dude. It's fucking beautiful. All right, stop simping on each other's beards. Let's go.
was bashing Jeff
Teach me your
Bezos
ways.
before he made the donation. So in this scenario, H3H3 was not donation shaming Jeff Bezos because the donation wasn't made yet. Some Ordinary Gamers uploaded a second video where he apologized. He said, hey, I got this wrong. I'm going to take an L for this. Well, yesterday, H3H3 uploaded a response video titled Everybody Loves Ethan, where he basically just went off on Some Ordinary Gamers, basically saying, hey, this guy's spreading false information about me. I never
Wait, hang on.
donated.
Were those uploaded around this, like on the same day? The Everybody Hates Ethan, or
No.
Everybody Loves Ethan, and the
No.
the apology video? Okay, they weren't.
No, everybody loves Ethan. So if you look at it, let's take a
That
look
was
back.
incorrect.
Oh shit.
We're talking about the coronavirus.
Was the 18th, and his apology was like the 19th, I think.
Okay.
Gamers, basically, he didn't donation shame about the coronavirus. He didn't do that. But we found an old...
Dude, that thing has, even Ethan's H3 video has fucking a ton of dislikes. 226,000 likes and almost 50,000 dislikes. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, dude. Yeah,
clip
it's a
of
little
him
different.
donation
What's funny
shaming.
too is that, hang on, pause it really quick.
Yeah.
You could tell because he's showing a clip obviously from his computer, so he
Yeah.
also disliked it.
Oh, he did. That son of a... God damn it. Killer Keemstar with the single
I mean,
dislike.
listen, at the same time, like, you know, I mean, from what some Ordinary Gamers said, like, you know, they had him on the show.
Yeah.
Then while he was on his plane ride back, they said that they fucking hate this guy. I don't blame them for hating all their videos.
Oh yeah, fucking Keemstar is done. The Keemstar is 110% done. He has no love for H3H3.
No, and I
but
don't
that's
blame
also
him.
a problem with Keemstar is he's a very biased fucking reporter.
Yeah.
So he's looking for everything he can do to just trash on these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's pretty funny though. No, it is funny. That was a good observation.
Guess this. Guess who it is. Jeff Bezos. Here's the clip. Roll it.
But then here's where my question comes in. Now, I'm not usually someone, money is money, donation is a donation, it's all good. But what do you make of Jeff Bezos donating $690,000?
A lot of people made the comparison of like that's literally the equivalent of a middle class person donating, I don't know, $69 or something. I think that
No,
was
less.
Less. Yeah, I think it was like that was the argument.
I think it was.
He should have made that.
He makes that
anonymous.
in 6 minutes.
Yeah. If
No,
you're gonna donate that little,
he makes that in 6 minutes.
love it. That's incredible.
Well, the thing is, I have lots of rocket ships I need to shoot off.
So
in
is that
space.
kind of a bitch move when you're like a?
I was wondering. Wow. Okay, so when Ethan Klein
Oh.
says,
So he didn't outright say, like, oh, that's a little money. Scott Bezos didn't donate enough. But he basically just called him a bitch for not donating more.
Well, that's
or
an
because that was
old-
only.
That's an old video. That's the thing.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, that's really old. That's back. I think that's back like basically when the podcast started. So what happened is somebody dug into the deeps, like fucking H3 said. Oh, somebody's gonna find an old podcast, or something I said and like twist it. But is that twisting it? Because I think it's twisting it for the scenario. Maybe
He did donate shame it at that point, but
At that
obviously
point.
that video is from a while ago.
Yeah.
So
Not the
obviously, some ordinary gamer is wrong in a sense for saying that he did. When
Well, but I think the ordinary gamer's talking about something else though. He wasn't even talking about that. But I thought it was an interesting cross comparison because he's definitely fucking shamed
Donation
Jeff Bezos
shamed.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not in that case, but if you're gonna shame him for $700,000 or something, how do you feel about maybe that's a tough one, dude.
Yeah, like
I didn't even think of it. I don't know. I just, like I said, I haven't even watched all that, but now I'm like,
it's one of those things that it's like, Ethan's trying to kind of like claim that like, oh, I've never donation shamed him.
Yeah.
Clearly you have just in the past when obviously it wasn't as relevant as today, but you're still trying to play it off like you did nothing wrong. Like you have clearly said something bad about him in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's the conundrum by watching Keemstar, and that's where Keemstar gets a lot of his views, is that that's going to do a lot more damage than good. And I even caught myself there because I was like, well, wait, no. Like, it doesn't matter, obviously it doesn't matter if he donation shamed him back. But does it matter? You can't donation shame somebody once and then be like, oh, because of X amount of money, we can't.
During trying times, it's okay.
Yeah, because we've both talked about that earlier. It's
here's the thing:
$100,000, $100,000, or whatever it might be.
Did Ethan apologize for that?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not that I know of. Oh yeah. Oh, that. Oh God, I have no idea. I mean, I think that'd be something we'd have to look into for sure. But let's. It was a less than valid point maybe by Keemstar, but something worth looking into because it's like he certainly has donation shamed Jeff Bezos at some point in his life. Do I think the whole like, oh, because we're all rich, it doesn't matter argument work? No, not at all. I don't think so. I think it's kind of dumb. That's a tough one. I don't want to go too deep into that, but we're only 7 minutes into this video, by the way. There's another literally 30 minutes and 1 second to go. So let's visit it.
Let's fire it up.
Let's see what's going on, and we might cut it early because I think
I'm just gonna say this
it might
much,
not be
okay?
that necessary.
Donation shaming is shitty, Ethan. Okay, let me just put it out there. The take I had is the right fucking take. Because it shows you that money is going to be used to save lives. To look at someone donate and then immediately look at how much they're worth is so fucking toxic, it's not even funny. But he made that take.
Nope, didn't make that take. It makes me wonder, did he really just look at the thumbnail and then launch into this righteous rant about me? Based on a thumbnail? I mean, people have accused me of not doing research, but boy, I have never made a video based on a thumbnail.
Jeez.
That's crazy!
And then it's also hypocritical because it is the same guy that lives in a $10 million fucking mansion. Look it up.
So now he gets his fans all riled up about what an evil dude I am, and then encourages them to go find out where I live. Now, when we moved houses,
that is
we
pretty
moved because we kept getting swatted. That was the reason we decided to move.
Oh, there
and
you
when
go.
we moved, we made this thing that's called a blind trust, so that your address is not public when you buy a house. We went through great lengths with lawyers and accountants to set up this trust so that our personal address would be concealed. Well, there's a website called Dirt that is owned by Variety that specializes in essentially doxing celebrities. So to prop up this leak of our home address while simultaneously lying to your fans about me is, in your own words,
a shitty fucking take.
You know, as a fan of yours, Muta, some ordinary gamer, I have to say, you've really gone downhill. I really miss the old Muta. For example, this is what old Muta would have said.
Expose videos where people are leaking private messages from somebody and their ex-girlfriend or some shit like that, and then I've seen other videos where people are leaking some like fucking really private shit at this point, without the person's consent. And it's like, it's the same guy that lives in a $10 million fucking mansion. Look it up. When you do that, it's almost like, what the fuck is this channel even? It's so weird to watch. And the thing is now is like some of these channels, they get a little bit of fucking traction. And the thing is that the guys behind them, they lose their fucking minds. They think they're goddamn celebrities now and shit.
And as a side note, the guy who swatted us right here, a neo-Nazi.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what the fuck? Dude. Wait, what is this? What is happening? What is this? What is life right here, dude? Oh man. All right.
Like, we'll kind of go back onto the point of like what these two videos are. It was a statement was made about someone else, and that person replies back, thus showing more dirt on the other person who said it first. And that's why, like, I don't think I like these kinds of videos most of the times, and I don't care about them half the time, because it's always them just, oh, well, this is what he said when back in 2016. Like, it's the opposite of what he's saying now. And it's like, just it's fucking redundant half the time.
And I'll be honest, I didn't even realize how like Keemstar just killed that. I didn't even realize it when I first watched it, or part of it, because that was years ago. You know, that original one was a long time ago, and they're not even, none of these guys are even talking about the same shit at this point, you know, almost. Yeah. So it's almost that concept of clout chasing. We didn't even get into that. I mean, obviously these big guys don't have to chase clout, but what they're all doing is they are, in some way or another,
yeah, it's more or less like the way I
fucking play off each other.
It seems is that, like, and I've said this before about H3H3, where he feels like he's slowly kind of getting out of like the limelight. He's not getting as much views, or like his podcast not doing so hot or whatever. And then something comes up with him in it, and then he just chases it for as long as he can.
Just like all these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not just him. It's like, I've seen it with plenty of other people. Like, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. Like,
it's
you already,
pretty
like,
intense.
How many fucking subscribers does he have on his YouTube channel?
Almost 7 million. 6.58 million.
Yeah.
He has a ton. So, he's doing just fine.
And it's like, you know, like, it's okay to take a little break. Like,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. He's taken a long break, and I think I think partially he might have lost his way.
Yeah, I think that's his thing. It's like his brand has slowly started to decline a lot, so now he has to try to come back up with stuff like this. Thus, like, you know, it's going to constantly be like a circle jerk of
and like fighting the poor guy who, from what I can tell, didn't make that great of an argument, and here we are, we're talking about it. You know, and then even to the point where it's like Keemstar's created something that was complete trash.
That's a given.
Figure. yeah. That's. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Like, we can continue a little. I think we can continue a little bit longer. I mean, if it's entertaining enough, let's watch it. If not, let's call it, dude. Because I think we've nailed this. I think this has become it's getting a little out of hand. What do you think, bro? I mean, let's continue
it's
a
just
little
like,
bit
it's
longer.
getting to one of those things that's like they're just arguing with each, or
yeah,
they're arguing with each other.
If
just for the
anything,
sake of
let's
arguing.
watch a little bit of this, and then let's watch the apology.
Yeah.
And then determine if he should have done that.
Yeah.
Basically.
King Very Master Race today is in prison for swatting us. So kids, this is a PSA to you. Don't swat.
Look it up. The same guy that lives in a $10 million fucking mansion, look it up, and hasn't donated shit as far as I'm considered to COVID-19. And you know how I fucking believe that? That's because this is the same guy that donated only $1,000 to Team Trees when that was out. See, I can do the same fucking thing you do, Ethan, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not a fucking hypocrite when it comes to this shit. The reality of it is, he fucking only donated a tiny percent of his net worth to a charity. And that's his take. If I was to apply Ethan logic, yeah, guess what? You're just as shitty as Bezos. But I'm not going to do that.
The layers of irony there's so many layers. I have to first peel back one layer here. First obvious layer being that, of course, I didn't say that. So when you take that away, all that's left is actually you just literally donation shaming me.
But I'm not going to do that.
And then another layer of irony is that he's using an example
fair.
of me donating to try to prove that I never donated.
Oh, God, here comes the coughing. Dude, I'll be honest, that is a fair response right there. He is
that's
getting
a very
donated, donation shamed
for donation shaming.
For donation shaming. Yeah, that's... Ooh, I mean, that's pretty damn fair right there. That's a
But
fair
remember, at the same
observation.
time, it's not an H3H3 video unless he does that dry heave cough.
I actually have to pause every time I go to cough. I've been strategically putting it onto you and then hitting my mute button because I have fucking allergies up the ass. It's terrible. But yeah, that's apparently a shtick for H3 is the cough. That's always been that way.
Yeah.
But I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. The point on that one.
No,
not the
like
benefit.
he did make
That
a
was
great
perfect.
point on that. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect example. How are you bitching about me?
Bitching about someone else.
But bitching about somebody else.
But,
yeah,
but
it's like-
still bitching about me for not doing it.
Wrecked. Honestly, if that's it, we could almost end it there. That's the end of the video. You know what I mean? Like, literally, that could just very well be the fucking end of the video. Because that's the truth. I didn't even think about it. You just completely destroyed your whole argument with that one thing that Ethan said. So...
But we still have 30 minutes left of his video.
Okay. Let's see what the next couple minutes are. Because he could have ended it there. He could have dropped the fucking mic. Dunk, bunk.
Yeah, he could have ended it there and would have been fine.
And then been like, done. Let's see what he has to say. Let's go.
Are you guys following this? But he conveniently skipped over the fact that we have donated every time a tragedy has hit. When the hurricane hit Houston recently, we raised $237,000. What humongous was in need. We raised $156,000.
Okay, so that's great. That's fantastic. I'm glad he's done those things. I don't need to know that again.
Yeah.
Because I've known, like, I don't know who he's pandering to. I think
Pandering
it's done.
to himself.
I think it's done. Yeah, I think it's done. I think he ended it there, you know, hey, if my argument's going to be that you're talking shit about me, donation shaming, well, look, you're donation shaming me. Anyone can see what he's done for other people. You don't need 37 minutes of it. That's it.
Yeah, you don't need but that's the other thing too. You don't need to throw it in the face of people because now he's just putting himself into the situation where it's like,
no.
But I have donated. Look at all that I've done. I am the best. I am better than you.
And tons of people
Watch
donated
my
to him, and I'm not saying, I am not saying that they've donated to him as in terms of like following him, you know, subscribing, things like that. Literally donated through the FUPA fund. I think that's a very mute point in all of this. I mean, we could skip ahead.
No, well, I'll give him that. Like the FUPA fund, like that was a great idea because that was him giving back to something.
No,
and, like,
that was
donating.
That wasn't
and
him
that's the
giving
thing.
back. No, hold on.
Oh wait, the FUPA fund wasn't. I thought that
Correction.
he was the one who set it up, right?
No, it's not. Philip DeFranco set up the FUPA fund.
Oh, okay.
People donated to him for the Fair Use Protection Act, and then it was essentially going to be this thing where they set it up that they're going to use it to protect themselves. If anybody else needs it, it would be something anybody else could use. So
okay.
That kind of never happened.
All right.
A fair misunderstanding, though. Like, it is kind of hard to understand because it's been fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
But even then, when it comes down to it, like, he's donated a lot of stuff, and I, just like what some ordinary gamer said, donation in general is a good thing, whether it's $1 or it's $100,000. You donated something. You put at least some money towards some goal that will do something with it. Now, the fact that you're basically showboating it, that's what's not cool in my eyes. Like,
yeah,
it's one of those, like, I'm going to anonymously donate to this charity, but then I'm going to tell everybody publicly that I donated to it.
Yeah, showboating it right after the fact that you were like, this guy, you just literally locked down your whole argument. Where you're like, you're donation shaming me for donating. That's it. That's the end. That's all you have to do. Why would you do anything more than that? Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? Do we watch a little more? I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's getting maybe another couple minutes.
Go for another couple minutes on it.
Let's see.
I do want to see the
when the Paradise Fires hit California and ravaged
video.
that whole town, we raised $159,000. We donated tens of thousands of dollars during those campaigns. We also donated $50,000 to Australia to help with the wildfire there just recently. But you're gonna go cherry pick the one time I donated $1,000.
This is the same guy that donated only $1,000 to Team Trees when that was out.
And by the way, aren't you worth
Fair
$2
enough.
million? Who the fuck are you to even sit here and lecture me on being rich? Like, the difference between my wealth and your wealth is pretty much nothing compared to Jeff Bezos. So who the fuck are you talking about the pits of hypocrisy when you're worth $2 million yourself? And in this same thread, I say that 20 of our employees from Teddy Fresh, at great personal cost from ourselves, are on full pay, full benefits, healthcare, and everything for the whole duration of this. For you to cherry pick the one time I picked $1,000 to Team Trees is downright misleading.
I don't think it's necessary.
And frankly,
it's not necessary to talk about that.
This is an individual
because he already talked about it
against
He's
billionaires.
just trying to make himself look better.
That's the thing. Not necessary to talk about because he's already put it into the public.
Yes. He's already tweeted about it, so now he's going to show his tweet about how he already done it and already talked about it, so he can get more exposure.
Yeah, is it
so
that
more
necessary?
People will like him.
Yeah, is this guy doing enough damage to you to where you have to do those things? That would be the next conversation. I don't think so.
No, he's not. Like,
I just don't think so, because you could have ended it 3 minutes ago, and that guy would have put out an apology because it was that was to the point. That was to the point.
While being a multi-millionaire himself.
By the way, he showed a tweet of me yelling at people in Brentwood Farmers Market, telling them to go home because Brentwood has the highest infection rate of any neighborhood in Los Angeles. And here's the farmers market during the peak.
Let's skip ahead like 10 minutes. This is getting insane. Like, he's literally point for point, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But he nailed it already. Ethan, you fucking nailed it right off the bat in the first 8 minutes. Like, why?
Because it's kind of hard to tell with you.
Takes against the rich who actually do more than the common person, despite them not giving every single thing. Which, by the way, Ethan, how do you expect every fucking multi-billionaire? Do you expect them at every crisis to give half their net worth away? I mean, that doesn't fucking work that way. I just don't understand how you get that mind into your head.
It's not in my head. I never said it. I don't know whose head it's in. You just keep putting more and more words in my mouth to make me seem like the most evil, pathetic piece of shit dude ever. And what's really troubling is that I really need to point this out again, that this video...
So, what you just said, this is about the point where he goes way on a tangent. Not Ethan. The ordinary gamer.
Some ordinary gamer. Yeah.
I think we can just wrap this up. We agree. The ordinary gamer goes way just fucking overboard at some point.
Yeah.
It's completely
but at the same time,
bullshit.
Ethan having to react to every little fucking thing instead of him going like, I guarantee you within the next 2 minutes he's going to explain how he doesn't have that mindset.
Oh yeah.
But instead of him just showing that clip and going, no, I don't, and being done with it, that's what's starting to it's just like it's a constant back and forth.
Yeah, no, he could have ended this at minute 9, I think or somewhere in that range. It was
like 8 or 9 minutes. He already solved it.
Yeah, basically when he just flat out, showed your donation shaming me for like putting out donations. That's the end. That's literally the end. That's it. We don't need any more. And it's just gonna go on and on. And he's gonna lambaste this guy probably. Oh shit! I held back a burp just now as I was talking, kind of like the ordinary gamer. My bad. Yeah. So we're at 23 minutes roughly. There's 37 minutes. He's just gonna pick this guy to death because the last 3 minutes of fucking the ordinary gamer's video is just completely shit.
Yeah, it was more or less just like him venting.
He's just going off, and that's like, here we go. Like, let's.
This is what I think
no
of him.
comments,
This is what
no
I think
nothing.
he's thinking.
Views are still going up.
Let's skip ahead.
It's going to people out there that need it the most right now. And that's something that I don't think anybody should fault Ethan for. I know a lot of people want to get into the whole idea of he's doing it to save face. Oh shit, you lit a fire under his ass and caused it. And sure, those points might be true.
You didn't light a fire under my ass. You blew smoke up my ass and all of your viewers' ass. Now you're sitting here, the so-called aficionado of reality checks.
I'm kind of the fucking aficionado of handing out these reality checks to a lot of things.
Yeah, no. All right, we're done. I don't agree with anything that's going on at this point. What I know is that Ethan crushed it already. That guy went way overboard at the end. And his original video was complete shit to begin with, in my opinion. No.
See, I don't mind the fact that he pointed it out. Like, if that's like his shtick with his channel, then fuck it, that's his shtick. But my whole thing is like, Ethan didn't need to go this far into his video to just pick apart every little fucking thing.
No, because he crushed him right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I thought that the whole, originally when I found the video with Mr. Killer Keemstar here, I was like, oh, that's a good contrast. Yeah. And then after listening to it, actually watching it, I was like, oh no, no, this is, once again, it's like, it doesn't necessarily support the argument because it's not the same argument.
But it's also, this is Keemstar, so he's going to make sure that it's going to keep going and going and going.
I mean, has he essentially donation shamed Jeff Bezos? Yes. But in this sense, no, I don't think that was the case.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same. But I also don't believe that any amount of money is worth like donation shaming. But what this guy did is he actually argued himself by doing that. Once I put 2 and 2 together watching the H3 video, I was like, oh yeah, he just fucking shot himself in the foot. So that's it. There it is. Good job, buddy. Shall we watch some of this apology video? And
yeah, because I know that's probably only 7 minutes.
Yeah, and we don't even have to watch all of it if we get the point.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and I owe an apology, 100%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the off-the-cuff video quality out there. It's an apology that I have to pretty much get out 100%. Because I kind of want to make this video before sort of like any other 100 mini channels pick this shit up and covered it, because the reality of it is I do owe an apology.
Too late.
And the last thing I want to see is people fight
way
for
too
me
late.
Clearly in the wrong.
We're here
now. I made
here we are.
2 videos. One of them was the hypocrisy of Ethan Klein, and I made another video where I followed up retracting a wrong point that I made. Now, I donation shamed Jeff Bezos, or not I donation shamed, I claimed Ethan Klein had donation shamed Jeff Bezos for $100 million, which was a complete fallacy. Wrong.
It goes to show you how much this guy actually gives a fuck.
Yeah.
That he couldn't even retake the first minute of his video.
But I give him credit on that at least, because it's not the quick cuts. It's raw. It's him just saying apologies.
He could have
fucked it.
Yeah.
He could have retook it right from there, and just it's not even a minute in. But he didn't. He said,
enough.
"Fuck it! This is how it has to be."
Yeah, I just thought that was.
This might be an apology video that I actually like, because I guarantee you he's just going to be completely truthful. Like, yeah, I fucked up. Oops.
I hope so. Yeah, if that's what it is, I mean, I'm sitting there kind of like, ooh, you really couldn't even like I don't know. I guess I look at it in the sense like,
but I feel like
seems
that's
a
what
little
an apology
ingenuine.
video should be. Because like I've seen so many apology videos where they just start crying. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, he shouldn't be crying. I don't think he should be crying right now.
Yeah.
He's crying his way to the fucking bank because this video has over 1 million views and 120,000 likes and less than 20,000 dislikes. Oh, I have no idea. Ad block pimping. I don't know.
Oh.
Let's
I'll check
see.
on mine really quick.
Made that video sort of in kind of like, anger of being like a former fan, uploaded it, and I made a wrong statement. And for that, I 100% owe Ethan a complete apology for that video. It was wrong, and I should have checked my sources better, for sure, 100%. Now, that being said, a lot of people have sent me like one clip in particular, which if it can load up real quick, I don't know if the audio works, or it does. It looks like it's working. But a lot of people sent me this clip where he was like in the middle of like the Australian like
hold on, do you see this?
And he donation shamed Jeff Bezos, which is kind of the fuck.
I think
they sent me this like they sent me this clip. Listen to it.
If you're gonna donate that little,
he makes that in 6 minutes.
Love it.
Maybe. Oh, I thought this was God. Oh, this is not. Well, I guess the wildfires were prior to the whole like pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, but it doesn't mean it was like 2 days ago or like whenever he made this video. Okay, got it. But at the same time, I don't know.
Wildfires, I think. Hang on.
They were in January, I believe.
Yeah, so it's the beginning of the year, just about.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not to say like we've already agreed. He definitely donation shamed Jeff Bezos.
From November 2019 to January 31st, 2020.
Oh, okay. I mean, he definitely at some point has donation shamed Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
But it's hard to create the cross comparison because it wasn't over what he said it was.
Yeah.
So he's at least man enough to be like, yo, I apologize for that. But but then he's also in another shitty way. He's kind of like, but look, he did do it.
Yeah,
fuck me. God damn it.
But it's more or less he's kind of like still standing on his point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is that kind of a bitch move when you're
I was wondering what's with the weird number, so it's 1 million.
So yeah, that's pretty much where it ends. I definitely recommend you watch more because I'm gonna add like another couple extra seconds of context. But Ethan actually wasn't really donation shaming Jeff Bezos over there, kind of like, I think, more asking a question. But, being the internet and what it is, a lot of people quickly make a speculation, which coincidentally is something that I fucking did, and I was wrong. So, it's time to call out what it is, what's worth being called out. One of the things I've learned is if you're wrong, you got to own up to your shit. You got to call it a day. Now, there were a couple things in the response video that I watched that kind of made me giggle a little bit. That he said that I'm worth like 2 million. It's actually like 45 million because if we're gonna use one of those network sites, we gotta pick the one that has the highest number. That's what's gonna put me in like the more like good flexi right. But anyways, all jokes aside from all of that.
Wait, I'm confused. So. That well played, sir.
Yeah, I will give him that. Yes,
that was pretty fucking funny. Well played. At least. Oh shit! What the?
Well, I mean, he said it. He's owning up to his mistake.
Yeah.
And he's not being like superficial about it. He's like, I fucked up, but here's also this.
Yo, I'm actually worth like a fucking ton of money.
He said like, I don't think that he's actually donation shaming. He's saying it more as a question. I took it more as if he was actually donation shaming. So I'm still on that, like, Ethan said, that's, isn't that like a bitch move? Because to me, that's basically saying if Ethan was to donate that much money.
Maybe this guy's just super smart, to be fair.
Yeah.
Let's finish it up.
And, it's something that I definitely own up to. And I apologize to Ethan 100% for that. I feel like when you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. And when I see people try to defend me over something that I was wrong about, I think that's like the dumbest thing ever. Because if I'm wrong, his response video, he pointed out a flaw in my argument, a pretty big flaw. And for that, I owe an apology. Now, I don't want to really get into
I want to know what he just meant. And I guarantee it had every fucking thing to do with when he said, you're donation shaming me for donation shaming. I guarantee you 110% that is exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. What do you...
Oh yeah, no, that's
you're like, I'm ready to watch more. Like back up.
Yeah, no, he's definitely that's exactly what he's going off of that point.
Yeah,
because he got called out for donation shaming someone else who he claimed is donation shaming.
Yeah.
So, and he admitted
I want to
it.
hear it. I want to hear it. I hope he says it.
Hey, it's slander or any kind
I
of
really
deal.
want him
People
to say
making
it.
conspiracy theories up about this all night, saying that Ethan's sending like a fucking, assassin or legal team after me to like kill me or like, throw me down, which hasn't happened. I removed both of those videos because I was wrong 100%. Watching that response video, I was wrong for sure. And that is what it is. And I don't know if Ethan's going to watch this video or not. Probably not. I'm not sure. But the reality of it is, yeah,
I'm sure he will.
I fucked up pretty well. And, the apology that you deserve, I'm here to give it to you full force. With that said, I also owe an apology to you, the viewer, because I did notice my ego coming out in the last two videos. And I think Ethan's response video definitely pointed it out. And a lot of the comments even pointed it out too. And the last thing I want to do is like come across as some egotistical, like fucking big brain. I'm the smartest dude in the room, because in reality I'm just some fucking cringy little dumbass on the internet. And
no,
God
damn it!
Till I'm done with all of this. Is that
like here we go? Like the self-deprecation. No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think the guy he's kind of doing the same fucking thing Ethan did. You did a good. You have a good apology. You don't need people to fucking feel bad for you, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, keep going with his, because I feel like it's also going to change it up
just
a little bit at the same time.
I hope so. Kid in the computer, because in reality, that's something that I am. I see that aspect of me come out and during those videos. And while yes, I was playing up for the audience and a bit of the jokes, I think the ego definitely showed. And I apologize for the ego showing, because that's not me, and I don't want that to be me. And if that came across to the fans, the same way that it came across to me, I owe you an apology. Whether you're a fan of me or not, it's just not a cool thing to do. With all of that said, though, I definitely don't like seeing people try to defend me in this situation when I'm in the wrong. And so I'm making this video because I think the last person that should have any response is me. And I feel like the best response is to own up to my shit and to tell you guys that I fucked up and to make a proper apology. And going forward, I'm definitely going to have to vet my videos a billion times better. It made me learn something. This channel is a lot bigger than it ever was. And, maybe I could, like, lose my shit, go off the cuffs years ago. But, I mean, I was blaming Ethan for the same stuff. And I guess I made a shitty take when I claimed he made a shitty take. So, at the end of the day, there's got to be a lot of self-learning on my end as well.
There it is. He admitted that he took a shitty take.
Well played.
How big my channel actually is, I have responsibility to not make shitty claims. And with that said, I give my whole apologies to Ethan. And Gila, for sure.
He could just end it there. Well played. I do want to listen to the rest of it. I do want to say, though, well played. His whole shtick from his video talking shit to Ethan, which at this point I don't support. I don't support any of it. We'll talk about it more. Well played. It was a bad take. Good on you, buddy. Good on you, man.
He fucked up.
Yeah.
He owned up to it. He's more or less apologizing to the people that he made the video for.
Yep.
And that's where I give more credit, because he's still kind of standing by his point with certain things where he's like, yeah, I fucked up, so don't defend me. I fucked up. Stop it.
Yeah.
So I'll give him credit on that. Like, he's moved a lot further.
He's moved further from the BS train, essentially. Yeah, I like it. Let's wrap it up.
Even
There's
said,
a minute and a half, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like they both deserve it hardcore. You said something about me doxing you. I used publicly available information, but again, I definitely do side with the fact that if this could cause you any harm at your house, I definitely don't want that happening. I know how bad it is to have personal information leaked.
Doesn't matter.
Like
he pointed it out. Doesn't matter. Yeah. That's one thing I don't agree with. He should have never said anything about his house.
Yeah.
Basically, I think we don't even need to argue that point.
Other YouTubers covered it, that it was kind of fair game, but I definitely admit, it could cause some undue complications, I would say. With all that said, though,
clearly,
I think one of the things I always notice on YouTube is like this whole back and forth bickering, and in this case, when I'm in the wrong, man, I mean, I'm in the fucking wrong. Like, it is what it is, I can't fucking go back and forth knowing that I shot myself in the fucking foot to begin with. With that, I definitely
there you go. He even admits that he shot himself in the foot.
Like a former fan, And at the end of the
Yeah, I
day,
think there's a
wish
lot to
Ethan
be said about
included
that.
these in my clips, but I don't really hate you, bro. And I know you may not watch this video or whatever, but I hope the best. It's just like, when you have that mentality of like a former fan, sometimes it clouds you and you make a really shitty take and you call it a day. But with that said, though, I'm just gonna drop it where it's at, and I kind of highly advise that people, from my side, I've seen like a lot of people on his comment sections trying to defend me and like call him like, like just straight like get toxic, which I don't really approve of. There's no reason for anybody to get toxic, especially like people
Fair.
from my end. Call it a day. Ethan's got his podcast. I've got deep web browsing. With that said, though, maybe today or tomorrow, deep web browsing. I'm not sure. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and
Mudahar, Mr. Mudahar. Okay, so that's the end of that. Hold on, what is this?
In whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And it doesn't matter how broke
Just
you
turn
are.
her
If you have
off.
So
time to
guys,
watch Twitch,
what we gotta say
you
right
have
now, it's for only $10 a minimum. It might be $5 depending on your currency. I don't know if you live in Kenya or China. It might be 10 yen. I don't know. But no, just kidding. Dude, I don't know. There's a part of me still that I'm not like real happy with that. I think the apology was fine. But I think what it comes down to is when you've got millions of subscribers, millions of fucking subscribers, and it isn't about how much money you make, but it's about the reach. Do some fucking research. Do a little fucking research. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
why
more or
are
less
you...
like you have. It's in a sense like you kind of have like a certain, I guess, like goal to uphold for most people who are watching your stuff. So if you're gonna, especially like he went on a tangent, he could have easily cut that out, edited it, gone from there, figured out what he said wrong, gotten the evidence too. Like he made both
prior
of them.
to that, gotten the evidence or created a video. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you release that?
Yeah, I'm still in the boat
any, like, type of backing, I guess. I don't fucking know.
I'm still in the boat that even then both of them shouldn't have done anything because it's unnecessary drama for no fucking reason. So it would have been just easier just to not do anything, say fuck it, who cares, move on.
Well, undoubtedly,
now,
I hate to say it though, then it does definitely start with the ordinary gamer. He should have never done it because we now know that fucking Ethan's gonna just latch onto it and make a 45-minute episode of the whole thing.
And in
like, what the heck?
In the apology video, he even said like, I'm gonna say it before a bunch of small little channels pick it up and run with it, and that's already what's happening.
Yeah,
like I'm pretty sure, like, well, we know Keemstar took it. I guarantee fucking Scarce took it because fucking why not?
Yeah, they did. Scarce and Keemstar absolutely took it.
And there's probably hundreds of other ones that I don't care about who are doing it.
No.
So
and now we're doing it. I think we're dissecting it though in a sense.
Yeah.
And the one thing I want to say is that it's too bad. This is a normal thing again. You get one person who runs away with it, and then you get this massive response by somebody who, I hate to say it, H3, man. I feel like he feels like he needs to latch on to even a person getting 100,000 views to defend himself, which really kind of bums me out. Because I think he can still make good content again, and then of course, who lines up, who goes crazy with it? Fucking Killer Keemstar,
Yeah. So yeah, you're in this constant cycle where you're just gonna try to I feel like he's just trying to latch onto it at that point. So whether or not for me, I feel like it's just gonna give it another month, and there's gonna be something else that comes up with Ethan, and he's gonna latch onto that, and it's just gonna keep going from there. I think that's why I stopped watching most of these people, because they started just constantly doing the same exact shit over and over. Where it's like, oh, this person talked trash about me, I'm gonna talk to them about it. I'm gonna,
that's 2016 in a nutshell. That's literally 2016.
Fucking ridiculous.
Leafy Is Here has come back just to talk a couple smacks about a couple of these guys, and at some point I fully believe we come back full circle. I think that's a big thing. Is I think we come back around full circle. It doesn't help that we sit here and do this, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a test stream. We're having some fun. I think it's gonna be what it is. You know, we're gonna have some fun, create our opinion. I don't hate any of these people we've talked about. You know, InvaderVie, I hope she does well. You know, actually, really,
all these people that we talked about, like, I hope they all do their own thing.
Yeah, do something better.
Do I agree with your points? No, mostly I don't.
No.
I'm just here basically to give my opinion on the matter, more or less.
Yeah, and that like, not a super huge fan of the InvaderVie mentality. She might be a totally perfectly fine person, but in the end, with the H3 thing and the ordinary gamer, I think we can both agree that it became a money game at some point. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what we're doing. I don't know. I mean, give us your $5, please, if you can afford it. You know, no, just kidding. Don't do that. Just watch the stream from the beginning. You know, we're totally full of shit. What do you think, dude? Are you done here? I think I'm done here. I think it was a good stream. It was a good first stream. We're going on almost 3 hours, guys. I had a lot of fun, bro. 5 years in the waiting to make this happen. And here we are. And it's still a work in progress, brother. Give them your final goodbye. What do you think, man?
Well, thank you, everybody who stuck around with us, even if you were popping in and out. We're live from the other side. I'm Tom, and the other host is Chris.
We're live from the other side, guys.
We're live from the other side, just here to have some fun, bullshit while we go.
And ideally, we'll see you guys on Sunday, this coming Sunday. We're going to try to do it probably 8 on the West Coast side. Maybe, I don't know. We're still having problems with that.
Yeah.
But we will be coming back to you guys soon, and we're going to be talking COVID-19. So,
yes,
let's talk some COVID. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later, bro.
See you later.